Chapter 1570. If you don't even know what you did wrong, then I advise you not to look for him. Wang Yi continued. If I ask you now, I'm afraid you can't answer it yourself, right? This is the root of the problem. If you don't even know what you did wrong, looking for him will only add to his troubles. Lin Yonghe frowned. He didn't know what to do after hearing Wang Yi's words. It's my fault. My fault is that I shouldn't have never thought of looking for him for more than 20 years. This is the biggest mistake in my life. I should have looked for him earlier. If I had looked for him earlier, this situation wouldn't have happened. It's all my fault. Wang Yi shook his head helplessly. Rotten wood can't be carved. You still don't understand what you did wrong. If so, I advise you not to look for him. You should figure out what your mistake is first. What is my mistake? But isn't this my mistake? If I had found him earlier, before he grew up, he wouldn't have hated me, and none of this would have happened, right? Lin Yonghe couldn't understand. She really couldn't understand why this had happened. I found that the opportunity Su Chen gave you was really given in vain. Wang Yi sighed. Do you know why Su Chen gave you a chance back then? It's because your case wasn't caused by you. A large part of the reason is that you were forced by those bastards who neglected their duties and abused their power. That's why Su Chen wanted to give you a chance. After all, you are a person who changed to do legitimate business in the underground world. If you weren't brought into this pit by those people, maybe you would have been a successful boss. Lin Yonghe raised his head and looked at Wang Yi with melancholy. He really didn't know what Wang Yi meant. That's all in the past. Don't mention it. I have already completely drawn a line with the past. I can't go back to the past. You can't go back, Wang Yi said. Back then, you didn't stand up and take responsibility, which means that you can't go back. Lin Yonghe, listen carefully. I'll tell you right now what your mistake was. Your mistake wasn't these 20 years. You lost time and can't get it back. I've already said it so clearly. You're wrong because of your feelings. Lin Yonghe looked at Wang Yi. She seemed to have begun to understand what Wang Yi meant. Su Chen gave you a chance because you have this child. If he gave you a chance, would you have turned yourself in instead of running away and disappearing without a trace? Wang Yi said. If you accept your punishment, even if your child knows everything now, he will forgive you, because his father is a man who dares to take responsibility. But you just walked away and left a 1-month-old child behind. Have you never thought about your responsibility? Men, don't be so irresponsible. Wang Yi suddenly raised his voice. Your fault lies in your feelings, in your role model, in your responsibility, and in your feelings. It wasn't a matter of time at all. Do you understand? Lin Yonghe felt as if her heart had been ruthlessly punched by something. He originally thought that he had understood, but now he realized that not only did he not understand, he made even more mistakes. Lin Yonghe, if I were Su Chen back then, I wouldn't have chosen to believe you. Facts have proven that it was also his mistake to give you a chance. Wang Yi said, but now I finally understand why he gave you a chance back then. It was because of the child. Just like today, even if I didn't believe you at all, I would still give you a chance. I also did it for the child, for Lin Ge. Although Lin Ge only stayed with me for more than a year, I have feelings for him. I gave you this chance because of him. Lin Yonghe suddenly stood up. He had an impulse in his heart. If you stand up, then just stand there. Take some responsibility. Don't kneel down like a spineless coward. Wang Yi suddenly scolded. I don't buy it. I gave you a chance, and I hope you won't let me down. Lin Yonghe's impulse to kneel down was stopped by Wang Yi. He knew what Wang Yi meant. Wang Yi would give him a chance. He didn't want him to thank him. Instead, he wanted him to finish what he had to do and come back to take on the responsibility. I definitely won't let you down. Lin Yonghe took a deep breath and resisted his impulse. I will take responsibility for what I should take responsibility for. Whether it was 20 years ago or yesterday, I will take responsibility for it. I won't run away anymore. Wang Yi didn't know how much credibility Lin Yonghe's words had. After all, when he was in the underground world, he was called a stinky rat because of his credibility. Now whether he could pay attention to it or not, Wang Yi didn't know at all. But for Lin Ge, what could he do? Was he really going to keep it a secret? Although Su Yin and Lin Ge were in the same situation, Lin Ge still envied Su Yun. This was because Su Yun knew he had a father since he was young. Although he didn't know anything else, he still knew. Lin Ge felt as if he had jumped out from a crack in a rock. He didn't think he had a father at all. It was just that his father wasn't something that could be brought up in public, so no one ever mentioned it. This might not seem like much to a child, but what was he thinking in his heart? Why was Lin Ge unable to fit in with everyone in the Dragon Brigade back then? It was because of his extreme inferiority complex. That inferiority complex made it impossible for him to communicate with others. The reason why he treated Su Yun like that, and still treated Su Yun as his biological brother, was because Su Yun was the person he envied the most at that time, and Su Yun also gave him warmth in his loneliness. So even now, Lin Ge could still give up his life for Su Yun's words. "I won't see you out." Wang Yi spat out these two words, which was considered an order for him to leave. Lin Yonghe bowed deeply to Wang Yi, then left without looking back. He wanted to be forgiven. After he was forgiven, he would have to bear all his responsibilities. It wasn't to make a promise to others, but to let his son see that his father was also a responsible person. He wasn't the kind of person who would run away when faced with a problem. A person could run away once or twice in their life, or even many times, but it was impossible to run away for a lifetime. There were always things that one had to face and bear. It was a problem that couldn't be solved by running away. It would never be solved. Lin Yonghe had already run away for 20 years. He didn't want to run anymore. If he did, he didn't know if he would be able to hold on for the rest of his life. Wang Yi looked at the departing figure. He really couldn't imagine how Lin Ge would react when he found out about all this. Whether he would be able to bear it, break down, or be able to accept it, these were all unknown. Fortunately, with Su Yun by Lin Ji's side, Wang Yi could more or less relax. He only hoped that Lin Ge wouldn't be too radical and do something crazy. The next day at 5 o'clock in the morning, Wang Yi, who hadn't slept all night, habitually stretched his muscles. He ran to a mountain 15 kilometers southwest of the Dragon Brigade. This was a habit of his. He didn't even know how many years he had persisted with it. Unless there was a special mission, he would set out at 5 o'clock sharp every day and spend half an hour running to this place, regardless of whether it was warm in spring, cool in summer, windy in autumn, or rainy in winter. Today, Wang Yi was the same as usual. However, when he reached his destination, he felt that the atmosphere was slightly different from usual. It was usually a peaceful mountain. Although the forest wasn't dense, there were still some. It wasn't exactly a place with birds chirping and flowers blooming, but there were always a few cries. However, there was nothing today. It was very quiet, so quiet that he felt a little suffocated. It was a murderous aura. That's right, it was a murderous aura. Only a murderous aura could cause this peaceful place to suddenly become so cold and indifferent. Wang Yi immediately became alert. He made a dozen judgments in his heart, but he rejected every one of them. Chapter 1571. Just when the string in Wang Yi's heart was about to break, a familiar aura directly attacked Wang Yi's back. Everything happened too suddenly. Wang Yi didn't even have time to react. Even so, Wang Yi wasn't surprised. Instead, a smile appeared on his face, as if he had encountered something good. The strong murderous aura stopped the moment it approached Wang Yi. Xian Yuanji, who jumped out without any warning, looked at Wang Yi unhappily. "Fourth brother, you haven't improved at all after so many years. You didn't even react when you sensed danger." "Ayaya, really? I knew it was you. Other than you, no one else would be so bored." Wang Yi felt very relaxed. This guy was always so restless. "What? No wonder Lin Yonghe could come to Yanjing to find me. Are you also involved in this matter?" "Fourth brother is smart. Otherwise, how could you be a leader?" "Ha ha ha." Xian Yuanji said. "Yes, I rushed to Yanjing last night to find you. But I saw the news and heard that Li Dafu's jewelry store was robbed of a batch of jewelry. The police couldn't do anything, so I guessed that it was done by Lin Yonghe." "What, did you already see him?" Wang Yi nodded. "Since you asked him to come, why did he chase after me?" "Didn't I regret it? I was afraid that this grandson would cause a lot of trouble for you. If that happened, I would be in trouble and become a sinner." Xian Yuanji said. but I heard that it was just something from a jewelry store. That made me feel relieved. How much could something like that be worth? I didn't think that you guys would really make a move. How much could something like that be worth? Just those items alone were worth more than 70 million yuan. Among them, there were 4 rings with precious diamonds, and a necklace with a gem worth more than 10 million yuan. It's called something star. Wang Yi said. Do you think we can just ignore it? Xian Yuanji raised his head in surprise. Don't tell me it's a precious gem like the heart of the ocean? You guys are just using cannons to kill flies. This fly Lin Yonghe is truly more powerful than me. Wang Yi bitterly smiled. However, when I saw his appearance yesterday, he really was sincere. So you're the same as me, naively letting him go. Xian Yuanji laughed. I say, have we all been infected by Zuolingyue? Why would they believe such a person? This guy almost arranged for someone to assassinate Su Yin on the Qingdao Island, but Zuolingyue still let him go. F***ck. I even suspect that Zuolingyue's brain has been flooded with water. Don't let Zuolingyue know about this. Wang Yi glared at Xian Yuanji. Even if I wanted to complain, I wouldn't be able to find her. You should accumulate some virtue with your mouth in the future. If she really hears this, you will suffer. I'm afraid she's not in the mood to be serious with me. Xian Yuanji laughed. Wang Yi looked at Xian Yuanji from head to toe. When was the last time I saw you? I don't even remember. How did you know to come to this place to find me? Among us, who doesn't know about your habit of morning jogging that hasn't changed for the past few decades? Unless you have some urgent mission. When else would you not come to this small mountain to play with the birds? Xian Yuanji knew Wang Yi too well. Even if I used my toes to think, I knew that I would be able to see you here. Then why didn't you tell Lin Yonghe? Why did you let him find such a big trouble? Wang Yi was speechless. How can I say this? What if he came and gave you a beating? Wouldn't I be harming you then? Xian Yuanji said disapprovingly. Who knew that he would come up with such a stupid trick? But it's good that he didn't hurt anyone. Wang Yi was startled. You didn't come to Beijing just to see what kind of trouble he caused, right? Of course. If he caused a big trouble, then it's my fault, Xian Yuanji said. Of course I came to see what the situation was. Since there's nothing now, I wanted to leave directly. But then I felt that I really haven't seen you in a long time. If I didn't say hello to you when I arrived in Beijing, then I would be letting you down, so at least you still have a bit of humanity. Wang Yi sighed. If you came to Beijing and left without saying hello, then I wouldn't have a brother like you in the future. Xian Yuanji grinned. Fourth brother, I see that you're in a good mood. I think Lin Yonghe has some things that he didn't tell you. What things? Wang Yi frowned. Looking at Xian Yuanji's fake smile, it probably wasn't anything good. Lin Yonghe lied to me? He didn't lie to you, but there are some things that he didn't tell you, Xian Yuanji said. Do you believe that after the revenge plan failed he didn't do anything else to Su Yin? He definitely wouldn't say this. If he did, you wouldn't forgive him, and you wouldn't let him leave so smoothly. Wang Yi realized that something was wrong. What's the situation? Su Yin knows where his father is, Xian Yuanji said. Lin Yonghe told him. This news was really a bolt from the blue. Wang Yi's fist slammed on the trunk of a tree that was unknown how old it was, and the roots of the tree trembled. Lin Yonghe, that bastard, really doesn't know how to be kind. Su Chen gave him such a chance, and he actually treated it as ill intent. Xian Yuanji was also helpless. Fourth brother, calm down. This has already happened, and none of us can avoid it. The only thing we can do is to prevent Su Yin from touching that forbidden area as much as possible. Prevent him from touching that forbidden area as much as possible? Wang Yi helplessly shook his head. You may not understand him, but I know him too well. I've seen him grow up since he was 3 years old. That stinky brat's temper, no one knows it better than me. If he wants to do something, you can't stop him at all. If he must go to that place, even if you cut off his legs, he can still crawl over. Wang Yi was definitely qualified to say this. Indeed, no one knew Su Yun's temper better than him. So he was destined to be the one who was the most confused about this situation, because he couldn't believe that there was any way to stop Su Yun. Why didn't you come to me directly last night? Wang Yi said angrily. If you came to me earlier, I definitely wouldn't have let him go. That bastard. How could he tell Su Yin about this? Calm down, calm down. There's no problem in this world that can't be solved. If there's a problem, it can be solved sooner or later, so don't think too much, Xian Yuanji said. If there's any problem in this matter, I won't stand by and do nothing. I will do my best to help Su Yin. Wang Yi glared at Xian Yuanji. Let me tell you, I know your temper. If you can't stop him, you will definitely be his helper. With you here, I'm more worried. Let me tell you, if you dare to encourage him, I'm not stupid. I encourage him. What should I help him? What should I stop him? I know it in my heart. Xian Yuanji said. I just rushed over from Qingdao. I went there to sound the alarm and let him know that this matter is not reliable. Don't worry, I'm not as stupid as you say. Wang Yi heaved a sigh of relief, but he was still worried. Let's go and have breakfast. I know a place that has thick soy milk. I'm sure it'll suit your taste buds. Let's talk while we walk. I know which place you're talking about. Is it the one with the surname Zhao? How do you know? Do you often go to Yanjing? No, I just drank it at that place. It's been many years, but I still remember the taste. After the two of them talked about some other topics, the atmosphere became more relaxed. After all, the old brothers hadn't seen each other for so many years. Now that they saw each other, they cherished the time they spent together. Even if it was just eating breakfast together, it could be a memory for them when they were old in the future. Wang Yi suddenly felt that the eight of them, ever since the death of their big brother Taisui, Zhang Yizhi, they really hadn't gathered together. And this time, Su Yin might be in big trouble. Maybe it was the reason why they could sit together again. Wang Yi was helpless. He really didn't know whether this was a blessing or a curse. Chapter 1572. Su Yin was very glad that he had a brother who could empathize with him. That's right, it was Lin Ge. Ever since Lin Ge came to the Dragon Brigade at a young age, Su Yin had taken good care of him. This was because he knew that Lin Ge was more special than the rest of them, and he could understand this special feeling. Everyone in the Dragon Brigade had their own difficulties. Otherwise, if such a young child had a family to take care of him, which parent would be willing to send him to such a place to suffer? But no matter what, most of them still had memories of their parents. The only ones who didn't even have memories of their parents were Su Yin and Lin Ge. Lin Ge was even more pitiful than Su Yin. He didn't even have the word parents in his world. Su Yin had heard Zhang Taisui talk about how great his father was, and how brilliant his mother was. In short, Su Yin more or less had memories of his parents, but Lin Ge didn't. Lin Ge didn't even hear others mention his parents. When he was very young, Qianfeng once asked Lin Ge if he knew what his parents did. He said that his father was the thousand-hand king Qianzhen, and how amazing he was. At that time, Lin Ji's response was quite extreme. He directly choked Qianfeng's neck to make him shut up and stop showing off. Although Su Yin was also a child at that time, he was still a few years older than Lin Ge. When he saw Lin Ji's reaction, he calmed him down. He asked Lin Ge why he was so anxious. Lin Ge said that he didn't have parents, and that he had jumped out from a crack in a rock. However, Su Yin emphasized that it was impossible, and that everyone had parents. Maybe he just didn't know, and maybe his parents were even greater figures. With Su Yin's calming words, Lin Ge was able to settle down a little during his time in the Dragon Brigade. However, in the end, Wang Yi still decided to send Lin Ge away. Lin Ji's condition was definitely not suitable for teamwork. He was too sensitive and could explode at any time. Wang Yi couldn't count on Su Yin to calm him down all the time. This was because in future missions Su Yin would be the main character. He couldn't be a spiritual mentor in a mission. The success or failure of many missions could be decided in an instant. Wang Yi couldn't lose the big picture for small gains. Soon, Wang Yi realized that Lin Ge seemed to be more suitable to train under Lu Xuanji. In that place he didn't have so many people to compare with. Perhaps his situation would be better. This was because Lu Xuanji's disciples were all lonely children with no background. Lin Ge wouldn't have to worry about anything happening to himself in that place. Lin Ge might be able to integrate with his friends very quickly there. and the shadow of his childhood would not be expanded infinitely. Now Lin Ji's current situation proved that Wang Yi's choice was correct. Lin Ge had indeed changed a lot under Lu Xuanji. Moreover, with Xie Fei's taking care of him, Lin Ge didn't feel lonely. Lin Ge finally grew up and finally began to integrate with the people around him. This was very gratifying for Wang Yi. After all, because of his decision, Lin Ji's life was determined. This was a blessing for Lin Ge, for himself, and for everyone else. Time passed quickly. In the blink of an eye, 20 years had passed. Lin Ge had grown up. However, at this juncture Lin Yonghe appeared. This Lin Yonghe, who wanted to kill Su Yun, was actually Lin Ji's father. When Su Yun received Wang Yi's notification, he was completely dumbfounded. He really couldn't imagine such a thing. Really, this was like a dream that could make people completely speechless. Once you wake up, you will be defeated by reality. Su Yun really didn't know if Lin Ge could accept this news. Wang Yi would inform Su Yun about this matter, because he was worried about this. He knew that Lin Yonghe must have rushed to Qingdao overnight. He wanted Su Yun to be mentally prepared. No matter what the result was, he would be by Lin Ji's side. He was relieved. Is this really true? Su Yun couldn't believe it, let alone Lin Ge. Wang Yi sighed. I didn't expect Lin Yonghe to suddenly appear after disappearing for 20 years. But since things have come to this, I can only let nature take its course. Su Yun, I believe that Lin Ge is just like you. Although he doesn't care on the surface and doesn't want to admit it, his desire for his father is incomprehensible. Su Yun was stunned. Listening to Wang Yi's words, he also realized that he knew about the Marty Franz Island serious crime prison. Su Yun, although my position in your heart will never be as important as your biological father, I have watched you grow up. Wang Yi said lightly, so I still hope. Of course you can compare to him. Su Yun interrupted Wang Yi, really. We don't compare this. Wang Yi was gratified, but he still knew that this was not the main point. I mean, I hope that you will think about it before you do anything in the future. If anything happens to you, I really can't accept it. Do you understand what I mean? Su Yun nodded. Understood. Then I won't say more. I know that you understand everything. Wang Yi chose not to overdo it. This gave Su Yun a choice. It also allowed him to think clearly about whether he should do something impulsive or not. If he thought about everything clearly and Su Yun still decided to do something, Wang Yi wouldn't stop him. Stopping could only stop a person's behavior, but it couldn't stop a person's heart. Everything had a cause and effect. It was inevitable that things would come to today's situation. After hanging up Wang Yi's call, Su Yun seemed to be even more at a loss. He wasn't thinking about his own affairs, but Lin Ji's affairs. Lin Ge and he were as close as brothers. It was obviously not easy for Lin Ge to accept that the person who wanted to kill him was his father. But Su Yun, who had known Lin Ji's pain since he was a child, knew that this was a relief for Lin Ge. Wang Yi forgave Lin Yonghe. Su Yun forgave Lin Yonghe. It was all because of Lin Ge. If it wasn't for Lin Ge, they would have no reason to give Lin Yonghe any face. It was all because of Lin Ge. But how could Lin Ge accept it? This was probably the most painful choice for him. Su Yun sighed without a clue. At this time, Lin Ge arrived at his office. Brother, I've taken care of the matter you mentioned. Lin Ge said. It's still the same words. Money makes the world go round. No matter how good a person is, they still can't escape the temptation of money. He has already agreed to consider joining Sky Entertainment. Haha, do you think that master needs money? Su Yun, he's been involved in so many Hollywood blockbusters. He doesn't need money. If he agreed to join you, I believe it's for the sake of his reputation. Did you say what I asked you to say? I said we're going to make Hua Xia's own Hollywood blockbuster. No matter how long it takes, we're going to make Hua Xia's movie rise. Lin Ge said seriously. Su Yun nodded. That's the key to moving him. He looked at Lin Ge again. Right now Lin Ge still didn't know anything. But how long could he maintain his calmness? Su Yun also didn't know. Alright brother, I heard from Cho Yun that Fan Bing's mood has improved a lot. Lin Ge said. I think it's time for you to go take a look. That bastard brainwashed her too much, damn it. Right now, Lin Ji's impression of Lin Yonghe was that of a bastard. Su Yun's eyes revealed a touch of helplessness. But that bastard was his biological father. After so many things had happened, how could Lin Gu accept all of this? Suddenly Su Yun thought of someone. Yes, it was Fangya. Most of the time, the best person to calm someone down was the person they loved. Fangya must be Lin Ji's strong tranquilizer. Su Yun needed Fangya's help. He had to tell Fangya everything in detail. Okay, then I'll go take a look. You keep an eye on the company. Su Yun wasn't going to the hospital. He was going straight to the airport. He wanted to see Fangya now and ask for her help. Chapter 1573. Lin Gu became the only person who didn't know about this. Recently, he and Su Yun had read 2 books about how to manage and develop a company. To be honest, after reading these 2 books, Lin Gu suddenly felt that management was actually quite interesting. It was much more complicated and interesting than he had imagined before. In the past, he had only heard that the workplace was like a battlefield. After really studying and understanding it, Lin Gu realized that this was definitely not a boast. It was the absolute truth. The 2 books he read fully illustrated with examples how, as a leader, to avoid internal strife among employees. Often, the final failure of a company or enterprise was not due to the incorrect route and development of the company itself, nor was it due to the strong competitiveness of the outside world. Instead, it was due to some meaningless conflicts within the company, which would seriously affect the development of the company or group. Just like a towering tree, the wind and rain outside would not shake it in the slightest, but the ants inside could completely corrode it and cause it to wither and collapse. Therefore, as a manager, he played a very important role in any enterprise or company. He not only played the role of a manager, but also played the role of a mediator. Take the matter that Lin Gu saw today as an example. There was a very serious internal strife problem in the procurement department. The reason was very simple. The procurement position was a lucrative one. Everyone knew how many benefits there were. Not to mention the direct benefits. The potential benefits were very considerable. For example, all the guest room facilities purchased after the renovation of Xinkai Hotel. Indeed, the procurement manager had lowered the price to the lowest and helped the company save money. At the same time, he could also get some benefits. The company turned a blind eye to this matter. As long as the company didn't spend more money, it didn't matter that the money was given by the other party. This was just a superficial benefit. What couldn't be seen on the surface was that the nephew of the procurement manager entered the furniture brand that provided the bed and sofa in the guest room this time, and became a sales manager under the regional general agent. This kind of benefit was even more powerful. No matter who it was, as long as he had the ability to lower the cost and control the price, he would be a meritorious person for the company. Then, when he got the benefits, no one could say anything. However, this would make the people in the same department unhappy. Everyone was competing for this matter, and those who did not succeed in the end would naturally feel unhappy. The manager and the assistant manager of the purchasing department had a grudge against each other, because of their grudge over the purchasing of the hotel. This time, when Sky Entertainment was purchasing all kinds of prizes for the annual party, the assistant manager tried to set a trap for the manager. However, the person who could become a manager was not that stupid. He set up a countermeasure to deal with the deputy manager. Their small actions were very obvious. It could even be said that they could no longer be called small actions. They were completely big actions. But even so, Lin Gu had to find a way to reconcile this matter. Just as Lin Gu was thinking about this matter, Su Yun had already gone straight to the airport. On the other side, Fan Bing had already calmed down. Cho Yun also received a call from Su Yun, asking her to go back to the company and be ready to intercept Lin Yonghe at any time, because Lin Yonghe could appear at any time. Su Yun was very clear that if Lin Yonghe just barged in like this, Lin Gu would definitely not accept him. He had to do something to let Lin Gu be mentally prepared. Then Lin Yonghe would appear to solve the problem. All of Su Yun's arrangements were really effective. Just as he was on his way to the airport, Lin Yonghe had already entered Qingdao. The moment he drove off the highway, Lin Yonghe suddenly became nervous. He had thought of many ways to say it on the way, But the moment he entered Qingdao, he could not remember anything. Lin Yonghe was very helpless on the way. When he finally drove to the main office of the Sky Entertainment studio base, he felt that his heartbeat was almost crushing him. Lin Yonghe did not get out of the car for a long time. That kind of suffering was hard to describe with words. At this moment, Cho Yun walked to Lin Yonghe's car and knocked on the window twice. Lin Yonghe was stunned and hurriedly rolled down the window. Although Cho Yun had never seen Lin Yonghe before, from the age of the car and the age of the person, she could basically guess that he was the person. Lin Yonghe? Hearing Cho Yun call his name, Lin Yonghe was even more surprised. Someone told me to tell you that if you want to be accepted by someone, then don't act rashly. If you insist on meeting someone when the time is not right, you know very well what the result will be, Cho Yun said lightly. Lin Yonghe was completely moved. He could not imagine that a person like him could actually get the help of everyone. This was God taking care of him. Was God playing a joke on him? Or did God pity him? Thank you. Thank you. Lin Yonghe trembled. He felt as if he was dreaming. Everything in his life had suddenly become so meaningful. His eyes were bright and full of hope. Cho Yun said disdainfully, "You don't need to thank any of us. Everyone is not doing this for you. You should understand this. Don't think that you are someone who is worthy of others' help. And don't think that Suyin wants to help you and give you face. Just because you ruined Fanbing's life, you don't deserve anyone's forgiveness." Lin Yonghe smiled bitterly. Yes, he was indeed thinking too much. Everyone's starting point was Lin Ge. Wang Yi was like that. Suyin was also like that. Lin Yonghe knew that Suyin must have gotten the news from Wang Yi. Every one of them wanted Lin Ge to be well. They all hoped that he would not be provoked. Everything they did was definitely not for him. He did not deserve it. He really did not deserve it. But he still sincerely thanked all of them from the bottom of his heart. They would do all this for Lin Ge. He was satisfied. He was really satisfied. He thanked all his friends who were sincere to Lin Ge. "I have passed the message to you. Leave your contact information. And then find a place far away to wait for the news." Cho Yun gave the final ultimatum. "Before you get the news, you better not appear in front of Lin Ge. If he sees you now, his first reaction will be to kill you. You know what you have done." Yes, I will listen to all of your arrangements." Lin Yonghe kept saying thank you as he quickly wrote down his contact information and handed it to Cho Yun. "I am really grateful to Suyin. I am grateful to all of you for everything you have done for Lin Ge. Really. Cho Yun did not have a good impression of him. "We don't need your gratitude. Even if Lin Ge finally acknowledges you, you will not get the forgiveness of the rest of us." Some mistakes were difficult to make up for once they were made. Lin Yonghe knew that he did not expect to get everyone's forgiveness. He only hoped that his son would acknowledge him. Even if he did not forgive him, he did not have the ability to make up for it. But don't worry. We will try our best to make Lin Ge forgive you. Otherwise, he will be very upset. Cho Yun said, "You just need to remember that everything we do is for Lin Ge, not for you. You can go now." Lin Yonghe nodded again and quickly left the scene. He wanted to find a remote place and wait. He believed that he would be able to get the news. At this moment, Lin Yonghe suddenly felt that he really owed the Su family a lot of favors. This made him feel guilty, embarrassed, and incomparably guilty. This kind of self-blame was probably the biggest punishment for him. When a person had to blame himself, he really did not need other people to blame him. Looking at the car in the distance, Cho Yun dialed Su Yun's phone and informed him of the matter. Then she also gave Su Yun the contact information left by Lin Yonghe. She hoped that all of this would end sooner. The sooner it ended, the sooner Lin Ge could be free. Chapter 1574. When Su Yun told Fang Ye about Lin Ji's childhood, Fang Ye's eyes were bloodshot. Indeed, it was difficult for ordinary people to understand how much pressure a child had to bear in that kind of situation. And now, Su Yun told Fang Ye about what happened a few days ago. And the leader of this matter turned out to be the great father that Lin Ge had always fantasized about since he was a child. If Lin Ge knew about this, he wouldn't be able to accept it. Lin Ge and Fang Ye had thought about it before. Although he didn't know who his father was, He said that he believed that he must be a great figure like Brother Yun's father. However, reality hit him hard in the head. No one could guarantee that Lin Ge would not be able to withstand the blow if he were to receive it. Even Su Yun didn't have full confidence that Lin Ge could accept it, so he came here to ask for Fang Ye's help. Fang Ye had a headache when she heard this question. There was no way she could say it. Lin Ji's mind was actually very delicate. He was a very emotional person. It might not be obvious on normal days, but once something happened, his true feelings were very obvious. The father in his imagination was definitely not such a person. As for how great he was, he didn't dare to say, but at least he was an upright person, and not the kind of villain that he didn't even bother to look at. Brother Yin, I really don't know what to say. Do you think I can do it? Fang Ye was under a lot of pressure. She really didn't know how to explain this matter. I really don't know how to tell him. What if he? There are many ways to express a sentence. I believe you can understand what I mean. I need you to guide him. Su Yin. I believe you have a way, and this person can only be you. None of us can say those words to guide him. Fang Ye nodded. Although the task was difficult, for the sake of the person she loved, she had to do it no matter how difficult it was. In that case, I won't disturb you. Remember to contact him later. Su Yun once again gave Fang Ye a trusting look. Believe me, he cares about you, so he will also care about what you say. When Su Yun returned to the company again, Lin Ge, who knew nothing about everything, came forward with a smile and said, Brother, Fang Ye asked me to go to Luting for pork trotters at noon. Do you want to go with me? I'm not going. I have to travel all the way from the south of the city to Luting just to eat a pig trotter. Su Yun shook his head. After all, he had just rushed back from Luting Airport. If you want to go, you can go by yourself. However, you can pack a portion for me. I haven't eaten anything with muscles and bones in a long time. Okay. Lin Ge nodded. Then I'll come back as soon as I finish eating. Su Yun waved his hand. No need. I have nothing to do in the afternoon. You don't have to worry. Pack the pig trotters for me to eat at night. At noon, I'll ask Cho Yun and Fan Bing to eat curry rice together. I heard that a new Thai restaurant opened not far to the east of us. It has a 20% discount. I'll try it for you first. After Lin Ge left, Su Yun immediately went to find Cho Yun and picked up Fan Bing to eat lunch at the Thai restaurant. Fan Bing's spirit and mood were much better. After experiencing this incident, she finally completely threw away the identity that should not have belonged to her. Although everything was caused by Lin Yonghe, Fan Bing did not hate Lin Yonghe. Lin Yonghe did bring great harm to her, but at the same time, she did bring about a change in her life. At least her achievements today, to a certain extent, could be considered as an opportunity given to her by Lin Yonghe. When Su Yun told Fan Bing the identity of Lin Yonghe and Lin Ge, Fan Bing even dropped the spoon in her hand. Cho Yun was actually quite surprised. Because Su Yun was not the kind of person who liked to gossip. There was a very important reason why he would tell Fan Bing the identity of Lin Ge. Su Yun felt that this was a relief for Fan Bing. It would let her face the identity of someone trained by Lin Yonghe, without any scruples. This was a fact. Regardless of whether Su Yun had clearly told Fan Bing that everything was in the past, Fan Bing's heart would still be unable to let go. This was something that needed time to break. Now that Su Yun told this matter to Fan Bing could let go of it earlier. Anyway, this matter was a fact. Even if Su Yun did not say it today, everyone would know sooner or later. It was better to tell Fan Bing earlier, so that she could let go of the scruples in her heart. Fan Bing looked at Su Yun in surprise, and then looked at Cho Yun. She could not believe it. Is this true? Why is it like this? Then, does Lin Ge know about this matter? He knows about the relationship between Lin Yonghe and him. No, he definitely doesn't know. If he knows. No, this matter cannot be known to him. Yes, he doesn't know now, but he will know sooner or later. Su Yun. This is a fact that no one can change. Lin Ge has to face this matter. Even if he escapes today, he will have to face it sooner or later. Can he accept it? Fan Bing's face was blank. It seemed that she had forgotten about her relationship with Lin Yonghe. This relationship between Lin Ge and her was so shocking that she could not believe it at all. Suyin shrugged. No matter what, this matter is a foregone conclusion, so we can only let nature take its course. Whether it is Lin Yonghe or Lin Ge, they will face this matter with difficulty. But if they don't face it, they will regret it for the rest of their lives. Of course, all of this needs to be prepared by Lin Ge before he can let Lin Yonghe see him. In that case, Lin Yonghe is still in Qingdao. Suyin nodded. Yes, to be exact, she should be back. Fan Bing heard this news and felt somewhat uncomfortable. Fan Bing, you have nothing to do with him in the future, so don't let him affect your mood. Suyin, you have the right to enjoy your life. Everyone has the right. You don't have to feel burdened at all. Besides, now we all know that no matter what, Lin Yonghe is Lin Ji's father. No matter how big a mistake he made, we will forgive him for Lin Ge. Chou Yun also said, yes, Suyin is right, so you don't have to feel burdened at all. This matter is not your fault to begin with. You really need to let go of this matter completely. I understand. Fan Bing nodded. You don't have to worry about me at all. The person you need to worry about is Lin Ge. His current situation is much worse than mine. But I believe that as long as you are here, all difficulties will become a thing of the past. He will definitely be able to survive. Suyin also nodded. Of course, Lin Ge was his brother. If he couldn't even survive such a small matter, then he would have lived so long in vain. Even if the sky fell, one had to be mentally prepared to hold it up. Suyin was such a person, so he didn't doubt that Lin Ge could do the same. At this moment, near the Luting Airport at the northern end of Qingdao, in the famous Luting Pig Trotter restaurant, Fangye had booked a small private room. Lin Ge directly went to the room number that Fangye told him. Fangye had already ordered the dishes and was waiting for him. I asked Brother Yun to come with me, but he didn't want to come with me. He said that he had an appointment with Chou Yun and Fan Bing to eat curry at a new Thai restaurant. Lin Ge said as he sat down. But he also wants to eat, so he asked me to pack a portion for him. Fangye smiled slightly. She knew that Suyin was just trying to cover up his visit. If he really wanted to eat, he would have bought it and packed it back when he left. Then I'll ask the waiter to pack a portion for you to take back when you go back. Is one portion enough? Enough. No, how about 2 portions? What if it's not enough? Lin Ge said as he picked up his chopsticks and began to pick up food for Fangye. Let's eat first. There's no hurry. Brother Yun said that he has nothing to do in the afternoon. Are you busy in the afternoon? I'm not busy either. Fangye nodded. It seemed that Suyin had tried his best to buy some time for her. Chapter 1575. Fangye tried her best to make herself look as calm as possible. Lin Ge, when do you think we should get married? Lin Ge was startled. It was not that he had not considered this problem before, but every time he thought about it, he would feel quite guilty. He had been together with the girl for so long, and they had already shared the same bed. Furthermore, Fangye's parents knew about this. To ensure that his working hours would be more stable, Fangye had spent a lot of effort to transfer him to the ground service department. Now, in order to be with Lin Ge, Fangye had sacrificed a lot. She even left Xinjiang and came to Qingdao. Therefore, she left her parents' side. This was all Fangye's sacrifice. Although Qingdao was definitely a charming international city, and it had hosted the Olympic sailing competition, it was still somewhat inferior to a metropolis like Xinjiang. Lin Ge had always been very touched by everything Fangye had done. He also cared about Fangye very much. Although he wouldn't see her for a few days because of important matters, as long as they were on Qingdao, except for working hours, they were almost always together. Now that Fangye asked this question, Lin Ge felt that he had neglected his duty. As the man, he should be the one to ask this question, not the girl. After being together for so long, Lin Ge hadn't proposed yet. This was also what made Lin Ge feel guilty. He was afraid that Fangye's parents suspected him, so they asked Fangye to ask this question. This was what Lin Ge was worried about. Seeing Lin Ji's expression, Fangye knew that he felt guilty in his heart. She hurriedly explained, "Don't think too much. I just asked casually. My family isn't in a hurry." "I'm not in a hurry." "I'm in a hurry." Lin Ge suddenly raised his head and said, "I'm in a hurry to marry you." Although Lin Ge had left Huaxia when he was young, he had an advanced idea of marriage. Just like some Europeans and Americans, when they got married, they even had to send an invitation to their parents. If their relationship was not good, it was possible that they would not even invite them. However, Huaxia people were Huaxia people after all. They had Huaxia people's rules. In the past, although the so-called matchmaking was laughable and should be eradicated, this was something left behind by the ancestors. There was still a reason for it. Therefore, even if there was free love now, it was still important to pay attention to the parents' opinions. Most of the time, the marriage of their children was more like a large-scale stage performance for their relatives and friends. It was extravagant and wasteful at the same time, but even so, the parents still enjoyed it. Lin Ge had never dared to face this problem because he also had a traditional heart. But he didn't have parents to take care of it for him, so how could he open his mouth? After getting their marriage certificate, the two of them could just fly to the Maldives for a 1-month honeymoon and come back? Would that work? If Fangya's parents were traditional people, would they be at ease with a marriage without a wedding ceremony? Weddings were about the combination of marriage and etiquette, not just a marriage certificate. Then hurry up and marry me. I can't wait to get married. When Fangya heard Lin Ji's words, her heart felt warm, but she also knew that her words would lead to a more important question. Say, who will help you organize your wedding? Lin Ge also had a headache about this problem. Should he ask his master? He had long been detached from the world. If he were to attend the wedding, he might not even be interested in participating in the secular world, let alone organizing it. It was unrealistic, really unrealistic. Was he going to ask Big Brother Yin to be the organizer? That was definitely not possible. Su Yin was a young man after all. This matter had to be done by the older generation to show respect. If Su Yin were to appear, what if Fangya's parents felt that it wasn't respectful enough? Lin Ge had a headache after considering all kinds of things. He really didn't know who would help him organize his wedding. It would be great if your parents were here. Fangya smiled slightly and tried to hide her nervousness as much as possible. She drew the question out. Then you wouldn't be so troubled. Lin Ge nodded helplessly. Yes, he hadn't thought about having parents for a long time. But today when Fangya said that, the desire in his heart was ignited again. I also want to, but I can't count on it. When Lin Ge said this, he was very depressed. I'm afraid God won't give me this opportunity. That's hard to say, Fangya said. Maybe God will arrange a little angel to inform them because you want to marry me. Then they will appear. Then there will be someone to help you. So, I'm not in a hurry. I'm just saying it casually. Lin Ge, I won't make things difficult for you. Lin Ge shook his head with relief. You didn't make things difficult for me. You never did. I have always owed you. I wronged you. Really, Fangya, I will make you happy for the rest of your life. I believe in you. Fangya said. I believe in my own choice. I will be happy. Lin Ge suddenly raised his head and looked out the window. I don't even know what kind of people my parents are. What kind of people do you think they are? They even abandoned their own child. Don't they have any sense of responsibility? Are such parents not worthy of my trust? Maybe I'm lucky to not have them. What nonsense are you talking about? Fangya said. No matter what kind of people they are, no matter if they did something wrong or not, I believe that no parent would abandon their own child unless they were forced to do so. I think they must have their own difficulties. You should understand them. Lin Ge lowered his head and remained silent. Understand? What is there to understand? I don't even know if I really have parents or not. Lin Ge, I remember you telling me that in your imagination, your father must be a hero. Fangya said. Actually, I think that it doesn't matter if he is a hero or not. Even if he is an ordinary person, he is still your father. Even if he is a wrongdoer, he is still your father. What do you think? Lin Ge nodded his head. Yes, no matter what he did, his father is still his father. This is a fact that can never be changed. Actually, I have thought about it. Lin Ge suddenly said with a wry smile. Even if he is a beggar, a criminal, or a bad person, if I have the chance to meet him, I will feel lucky. Fangya was surprised that Lin Ge would have such thoughts. Let's make an analogy. It is like a child who got a 0 and was expelled from school. However, in order to prevent his parents from beating him, he wrote a letter to his parents. Lin Ge said. In the letter he wrote, Dad, Mom, I have let you down. I played with fire in school and accidentally set the school on fire. The school building burned down and many of my classmates were unable to be saved in time. Now the hospital has sent news that some of them might not be able to be saved. Lin Ge still had the wry smile on his face. He wrote that to make his parents accept the greatest helplessness. Then he wrote, Actually, I am just joking. My dear parents, there is actually one small thing that is true. I got a 0 and was expelled from school. Fangya was stunned. She did not know what Lin Ge meant by that. Compared to burning down the school and killing the students, his expulsion is really a small matter. Lin Ge said calmly, Say that his parents will be able to accept this fact and will even feel lucky. Lucky that their son was only asked to leave and didn't burn down the school. Fangya understood that Lin Ge was using his own feelings. He was like the parents in the story. He had already accepted the greatest helplessness, and nothing could make him feel more helpless. He could accept everything. Everything would be much easier than what he had already accepted. Knowing that Lin Ge could think like that, Fangya was relieved. I really did not expect you to think like that. Okay, let's not talk about this anymore. Hurry up and eat before it gets cold. I will go and see if the pork trotters for Brother Yin are ready. Okay. Lin Ge smiled and nodded. Chapter 1576. Fangya immediately told Su Yin about Lin Ji's thoughts. After receiving Fangya's call, Su Yin felt relieved. Lin Ge had already reached his psychological limit. Even if Lin Yonghe was his father, he should be able to handle this by himself. If Lin Ge still had scruples in his heart, then he really needed Su Yin to do the work. The only thing Lin Ge had scruples about was that he couldn't get over Su Yin. After all, Lin Yonghe really wanted to kill Su Yin. This kind of thing really happened in front of everyone. No one could hide or deny this fact. This was probably the only thing that Lin Ge couldn't accept. When Lin Ge returned to the company, Su Yin pretended that nothing had happened and asked, How was it? You didn't forget to pack it for me, right? Tonight, your sister Qing Shuang is coming to Qingdao. Lu Ting pig trotters are the main dish that I prepared for her. Of course I didn't forget, Lin Ge said. Then I was right to ask for 2 sets. Has Sister Shuang's matter been settled? Yes. Su Yin nodded. I told you she is definitely a suitable person to be a manager. Except for her easygoing personality, she doesn't have any shortcomings that others can point out. I'm afraid there's nothing that she can't handle in Sky Entertainment. Lin Ge clicked his tongue. I read so many books and realized how difficult it is to be a manager. I admire Sister Shuang so much. Since she's coming today, I can ask her a few questions. I find that I'm not suitable to be a manager. My brain isn't good enough. When I encounter a lot of things, I can't think straight. Take your time. I'm the same as you. Su Yin paused for a moment. Then Su Yin asked again, Did you tell Fangya to come back early after work? Well, you don't have to say anything. She's not busy this afternoon. She should be back by now. Lin Ge didn't notice anything wrong with Su Yin. After Su Yin received Fangya's call, he contacted Lin Yonghe according to the contact information left by Lin Yonghe. Lin Yonghe couldn't believe that he had received a call from Su Yin in such a short period of time. However, when he heard that it was indeed Su Yin's voice, he truly believed that it was the truth. Su Yin, I'm sorry. I sincerely apologize to you. All right, let's not waste time on pleasantries. I believe that even if I didn't emphasize it to you, others have already emphasized it to you. All of us are doing this for Lin Ji's sake, not yours. Su Yin. If you have the heart, then show some sincerity. This is all I can do for Lin Ge. Whether or not he can walk out of this, the rest is up to you. Lin Yonghe wanted to say something but hesitated. In the end, he couldn't help but ask, Then what should I do? Su Yin, listen to me. I know that I made a big mistake, so I really don't know how to make up for it. When faced with this problem, I really don't know where to start. What should I do? I've already arranged it. Su Yin. Tonight, we'll all have dinner together at the movie hotel. At that time, not only will I be there, but all of his friends will be there. The girl he loves will also be there. This is the girl he must marry in this life, so her words will definitely have a huge impact on him. Lin Yongha held the phone with a face of surprise. However, the surprise quickly disappeared. After all, more than 20 years had passed in the blink of an eye. His son was already an indomitable man. It was normal for him to have a girl he loved. For Lin Yongha, this could be described as happiness came too suddenly. Not only did he suddenly find his son, but he even had a daughter-in-law. Maybe he really would have a chance to hold a grandson. For a person like him who already knew his destiny, what could be more worthy of his yearning and having the joy of a family relationship? Lin Yongha really yearned for all of this. All of this sounded like a dream. When you appear at that time, we will try our best to make him accept you. Su Yin continued. When he heard Lin Yongha repeatedly thank him, he emphasized again. We're not helping you, we're helping Lin Ge. You don't have to thank us. Lin Yongha smiled awkwardly and asked, But I'm suddenly attending your dinner party. Isn't it a bit too abrupt? Wait a minute. When did I say that I wanted you to attend our dinner party? Su Yun said in a speechless manner. I don't want our mood to be ruined even when we're having a meal. I want you to appear after we're done eating. Don't affect our mood and make us lose our appetite. Yes. It should be like this. Although Lin Yongha was disappointed that she didn't have a chance to have a reunion dinner with her son and daughter-in-law, she was still grateful for everything Su Yun had arranged. Then when I'll see you, I'll listen to you. Su Yun nodded. I'll let you know at that time. It won't be too late for you to enter the room. Lin Ge was completely unaware of all of this. In the evening, Su Yun would invite his own people on Guqin Island to have dinner together. On the surface, it was to welcome Ruan Qingshuang, but in fact, it was to let everyone persuade Lin Ge to accept Lin Yongha. Of course, Ruan Qingshuang also knew about this. Su Yin believed that she would also give Lin Ge the comfort he needed to some extent. Ruan Qingshuang was very happy to hear the news. No matter what, parents would always be parents. She had also experienced it herself. She, who had left her parents in order to escape the marriage, now saw that her parents would still forgive all the wrong things they had done. This was what every child would do. Just as parents would forgive their son's mistakes, the son would also forgive his parents' mistakes. No matter how big the mistake was, it would still be forgiven. Su Yin arranged all of this silently. Lin Ge was completely unaware. The whole afternoon passed quickly. After Su Yin arranged things last night, Lin Ge was thinking about one thing. If he wanted to propose to Fangya, could Su Yin and Sister Shuang stand up and act as elders for him? Yes, Lin Ge had to ask this question at night. If it was possible, then it was settled. He couldn't let Fangya's parents think that he didn't even have an elder who could make decisions. That would make the woman feel very disrespectful. He didn't need to discuss this with Fangya. As long as he asked at night, he believed that Fangya would definitely support him. In this way he solved a big problem. With this brain, why didn't I think of this earlier? If I thought of this earlier, then I would have proposed and gotten the marriage certificate earlier. Thinking of this, Lin Ge was in a good mood. Seeing that there was nothing else on hand, he ran to Su Yun's office to ask for leave, and said that he would go first. Su Yun was stunned. Are you going to pick up Fangya? No, I told her to come for dinner tonight. She will come after work. I am going out to do some personal things. Lin Ge smiled mysteriously. Su Yun looked at the mysterious Lin Ge and was puzzled. What other personal things can you have? Then go early and come back early. Don't be busy with your personal things when Fangya arrives at night. I know. Don't worry, brother. This is very important. I have to do it. I have something to announce tonight. I will go and prepare first. Lin Ge couldn't hide the proud look on his face. Yo, this kid is quite mysterious. I don't know what medicine he is selling in the gourd. Su Yun raised his eyebrows. Forget it. Tonight's matter was a foregone conclusion. Nothing could shake Su Yun's decision. No matter what, he wanted Lin Ge to accept the fact that Lin Yongha was his father tonight. Looking at the time, it was estimated that Ruan Qingshuang would arrive soon. Su Yun was also tired from the afternoon. He stretched and left the office to go downstairs to pick up Ruan Qingxuang. It was estimated that she was tired from the bumpy road. It was good to take her to his hotel room to rest. Chapter 1577. Su Yun came downstairs just in time. As soon as he walked out of the company, he saw the Buick MPV drive into the office of Sky Entertainment Studio. Looking at the car, Su Yun was deeply moved. Ruan Qingxuang bought this car when they first owned Hedong Medicinal Cuisine Hotel. Time passed quickly. Su Yun realized that Ruan Qingxuang was still using this car. Obviously, Ruan Qingxuang had gritted her teeth and bought such a high-end car for the sake of Guoguo's comfort. Now this high-end car in her eyes was no longer worthy of her status, but she still did not change it. Zuomeyan would probably urge her to change her car many times. Most of the time, a car was not only a means of transportation, but also a matter of face. Zuomeyan didn't like cars, but she chose a Mercedes-Benz for no other reason than to show Sky Entertainment Group's face, and to show Sky Entertainment Group's strength. But after all, everyone had their own ideas. Ruan Qingxuang didn't think it was degrading. She thought it was fine as long as she sat comfortably. The only thing she wasn't satisfied with was the fuel consumption. It was too inefficient. So when the Tesla was released a while ago, Ruan Qingxuang, who didn't care about cars, was tempted. It was indeed energy efficient and environmentally friendly, but the price was a bit too high. Later, she heard that although the Tesla car could save 20,000 yuan of gasoline a year, it could also cost 20,000 yuan of electricity. Whether the news was true or not, Ruan Qingxuang would not spend so much money on experiments. As soon as the car stopped, Chang jumped out of the driver's seat. The electric door in the back slowly opened. Su Yun was surprised to see Chang. When did you become a driver? I'm a brick in the revolution. I move wherever I'm needed. Sister Shuang needs me to escort her, so I have to be a good driver. Chang said. Sister Shuang has been running around these days. We don't trust anyone else to drive. I'll do it myself. At this time, Ruan Qingxuang also got out of the car. Chang's driving is quite steady. Then you'll be Sister Shuang's full-time driver. Su Yun laughed and looked at Ruan Qingxuang, who still looked tired. It's been hard on you these past few days. Looking at your face, I know you didn't rest well. Let's go back to the hotel to rest. Ruan Qingxuang smiled. Are you done with the company? How long will it take to finish the company's business? Su Yun. Rest when it's time. Work and rest. Otherwise, there's no end to it. Listen to me, don't work yourself too hard. Rest when you need to. Chang gave him a thumbs up. Brother Yun really dotes on people. I'll take you to the hotel to rest. You're also tired from driving. You should rest for a while, Su Yun said. No need. I'm not tired. I'm in good spirits. Before I came, I saw a picture on Brother Shirley's WeChat Moments. He opened a beer carnival-themed nightclub. I've already told him that I'll go visit him when I reach Qingdao today. Chang grinned. Hee hee, Brother Yin, if there's nothing else, I'll take you to the hotel. I'll go drink some beer. Su Yun pointed at the movie hotel not far away. Then you don't have to take us. We'll walk back. If you want to drink, it's best to call Brother Lei and ask him to arrange for a brother to come and pick you up. Chang nodded. What's wrong? Is there a strict DUI inspection in Qingdao these days? Do you understand? Don't have any wishful thinking. Su Yun. Don't drive when you drink, and don't drink when you drive. It's such a simple principle. Even if no one checks, you have to follow it consciously. Driving under the influence of alcohol is a crime. Brother Yin is right. Chang laughed and handed over the car key with both hands. I promise I won't drink and drive. It's good that you won't drink and drive. You should keep the key. I'm afraid you'll lose it, Su Yin said. Chang certainly didn't have the nerve to call Shirley and ask him to arrange for someone to pick him up. After all, he wasn't Su Yun. Shirley, the big brother of Qingdao, gave him so much face because of Su Yun. He flagged down a taxi and headed straight to Shirley's new venue. Su Yun and Ruan Qingxuang walked for a few minutes to the hotel. After arriving at Su Yun's room, Ruan Qingxuang lazily sat on the sofa, tiredness showing in her eyes. I think Lin Ji's current situation is enough to write a novel. There were no outsiders now. Wan Qingshuang helplessly shook her head and said, Lin Ji's father actually wants to kill you. This sounds like a story. In short, I'm completely shocked. I'm the same. Su Yin. After knowing about this, I couldn't sleep for almost the whole night. Are you really going to let that Lin Yonghe meet Lin Gu? Do you really think Lin Gu is ready? Wan Qingshuang really didn't have much confidence. If this happened to me, I really wouldn't dare to make a decision so easily. What if I screw it up? Su Yin poured 2 glasses of water. Even if he screws it up, he has to hold on as a man. I'm helping him by making this decision. I know you're thinking for him. Wan Qingshuang said, I'll do my best to cooperate with you. With you here, I have a lot more confidence in my heart. Although Lin Gu usually still values my words, I'm afraid that once his stubbornness comes up, even I can't handle it. Su Yun. But you're different. With your identity, I think it'll be easier for you to make him listen to you. With more preparation, I'll feel more at ease. Wan Qingshuang helplessly shook her head. Then I can only reluctantly do this. How much time do you have left? Is it enough for me to sleep for a while? 2 hours of sleep isn't too late. Su Yin smiled slightly. Let's sleep together. Stop it. I'm really tired now. No. Wan Qingshuang said shyly. If she wasn't really tired now, she might really follow Su Yun's words and half refuse. No, don't think about it. It's so embarrassing. Su Yun loosened his shoulders. I'm talking about the time. Don't think too much. I find that you're really getting more and more annoying. Wan Qingshuang's face was red. Did I really think too much? Su Yun liked to look at Wan Qingshuang like this. The more he looked, the more relaxed and happy he felt. Sleep. Let's sleep together for a while. He also needed to recharge his energy. At night, he still had to deal with the pigeons who would explode. The two snuggled on the bed like this. After Wan Qingshuang found this long-lost sense of security, she quickly fell asleep. She was really tired, sleepy and tired. Su Yun was actually not sleepy, but when he saw Wan Qingshuang fall asleep, he didn't dare to move. He was afraid to wake her up. In this way, in Wan Qingshuang's gentle body temperature and even breathing, Su Yun actually fell asleep. And this sleep lasted for more than an hour. When he woke up, he realized that the time he set was almost up. But looking at Wan Qingshuang's sleeping appearance, Su Yun really couldn't bear to wake her up. However, the sudden ringing of the phone still woke Wan Qingshuang up. Su Yun picked up the phone with an unhappy expression. When he saw that it was Cho Yun, he knew that she and Fan Bing must have arrived. He quickly picked up the phone and told them that he would be there soon. Wan Qingshuang rubbed her eyes. Did I sleep for too long? I won't be late, right? We're eating together. It doesn't matter if it's a minute earlier or later. Su Yun. Go wash your face and get ready. I'll go to the kitchen and tell little Dongbei to prepare more exquisite food for us. By the way, Lin Gu still has some packed looting pig trotters for lunch. I'll ask little Dongbei to reprocess them. Wan Qingshuang nodded. Then I'll go right away. Even if we're on the same side, we can't be late. The concept of time is a very serious issue. You have to correct this attitude in the future. Otherwise, how can you be the boss of a group? Zuomeyan must have taught you this. After saying that, Su Yun ran out of the guest room and went straight to the kitchen of the catering department on the first floor. Chapter 1578. Little Dongbei was quite reliable as the head chef in Qingdao. During the past few days in Qingdao, he had completely conquered many rich people in Qingdao by making delicious delicacies. After all, it was a seaside city. There were many chefs who could make seafood well, but not many could make delicacies to the extreme. It didn't mean that some chefs were incapable. It was just that in high-end hotels like the Qingdao Island, they saw all kinds of seafood feasts every day at most. Naturally, they were not familiar with the cooking methods of mountain delicacies, which led to many people not being able to find the right taste. As time went by, people began to pursue the taste of mountain delicacies even more. The more difficult it was to find a delicacy, the more people yearned for it. Therefore, as soon as the main dishes of the Little Northeast were launched, they were praised by the local tycoons of Qingdao. In addition, Ruan Qingshuang also brought the ancestral medicinal cuisine improved by Su Yin to the movie hotel. It was delicious and healthy, so it naturally attracted the pursuit of rich people from all walks of life. The movie hotel also had expensive reservations every day. When Su Yin found Little Dongbei was educating a few unhygienic chefs, and he was reprimanding them very severely. In this day and age, the chef industry should indeed manage the hygiene situation. Even in star-rated hotels, it was common to see chefs start cooking without washing their hands. Eggs were stirred with their fingers, and meat that fell on the ground was put into the pot without washing. These situations were very common. It was fine if these were not exposed, but once they were, it basically announced that the catering department of a hotel was completely finished. Huaxia on the tip of the tongue was like the Japanese on the CD. The Japanese cared most about what was popular and what was popular. The two big companies produced a lot of new Blu-ray discs every month, but the Huaxia people cared most about the food in their mouth. The food safety issue had made Huaxia food lose its reputation in the hearts of the people, and the milk powder industry had slapped its own mouth hard. It was the same in the star-rated hotel industry. If you dared to use the 20 caddies of gutter oil that sold for 100 yuan like the pancakes, then you could wait to be closed. Most of the people who come to eat in a 5-star hotel are rich, and the people who make the gutter oil are also rich. They can tell that the gutter oil is produced by themselves. Do you think they will still come? The hotel's hygiene was definitely a top priority. Little Dongbei had done the right thing by focusing on this point. It should have been a strict investigation, strict punishment, and strict control. All unhygienic chefs had to be dealt with. For the first offense, they would be given a warning. For the second offense, they would be given a demerit. For the third offense, they would be paid and fired. This was not a small matter. If the customers knew that the chef was unhygienic, who would come? For example, if I told you that an old lady who sells crepes likes to use her used bra as a pan wiping pad because it has better oil absorption and oil storage, would you still eat the crepe she sells? What if I told you that the owner of a barbecue shop doesn't even know what kind of meat he steals every night, but he soaks it in sheep's urine for one night and calls it mutton the next day? Would you still dare to eat it? No, it wasn't rat meat. They didn't have the time to catch rats. What do you think? Do you feel more at ease knowing that it's rat meat? When you don't even know what kind of meat it is, are you even more afraid to eat it? Since Huaxia called itself the Huaxia on the tip of the tongue, then this eating problem had to be solved. Otherwise, how could they even call themselves the country on the tip of the tongue? Although the various local health departments of the country had some idle people, cooking food depended on self-awareness and conscience. It was useless to rely on those unreliable supervisors. Su Yin didn't interrupt Little Dongbei's lecture. When Little Dongbei finished, Su Yin said, "With your strict management, I feel more at ease." "Brother Yin, when did you come?" Little Dongbei was startled. "Hee, this is really embarrassing. I just feel that this matter can't be handled carelessly. If it's handled carelessly, they still won't care." Su Yin nodded. What he said was right. I also understand. Chefs' hands are always greasy. No one has the time to wash their hands every minute. But I still have to be as strict with them as possible. Little Dongbei said, "We can't ruin the reputation of Brother Yun's movie hotel. This isn't just mine. It's everyone's. It's our movie hotel." Su Yin said, "I asked you to prepare tonight. Have you prepared everything?" "Yes, don't worry. It won't be extravagant or wasteful. It'll be exquisite and delicious. I guarantee that you won't be able to eat it." Little Dongbei said, "I feel that steaming the pork trotters again will affect the taste, so I'm going to braise them directly. Braised pork trotters will be tender on the inside and charred on the outside. I guarantee that you'll want more after eating it. There won't even be any juice left." Su Yin licked his lips. "You don't say. I'm starting to crave it now. Let's prepare it now. It's about time. They've probably all arrived. When you're done, come over and eat with us." Little Dongbei shook his head. "Don't, Brother Yin. This is my job. If I neglect my work during work, how can I convince my subordinates?" I definitely have to stick to my post. I definitely can't let anyone find fault with me. Okay, then you decide for yourself. I'll go up first. Soo-yeon smiled slightly. This kid was really getting more and more serious. He was a completely different person from the little Dongbei he first met. People were like this. In a good environment, they would grow up very quickly. They could make you look at them in a different light in a few days. Soo-yeon went straight to the private room. Cho-yeon and Fan Bing had already arrived. Rwan Qingxuang was also one step ahead of him. The three of them were chatting. Rwan Qingxuang comforted Fan Bing, making Fan Bing feel warm in her heart. At this time, Fangya also rushed back from work. After arriving at the hotel, she saw that everyone had arrived. Fangya was embarrassed and said, "I'm really sorry. There was a bit of traffic on the road after arriving in the city. Hee, I've made you wait for a long time." "Don't worry. We just arrived. You came from so far away. It's already very fast," Rwan Qingxuang said as she went forward and pulled Fangya to sit beside her. She also knew that Fangya was a very important person to Linge today. Soo-yeon also nodded. "You came really early." Linge went out before getting off work. "He hasn't come back yet. I originally asked him to receive you, but he made us wait for him. Let's all sit down first. When he comes to the kitchen, the dishes will be served immediately." The wine table had its culture. The seating arrangement was very important. Although Soo-yeon didn't care about it, he also knew that he must sit at the main seat. Otherwise, no one else could sit. "Sisters, please sit inside. Leave the door to me and Linge," Fangya quickly said. "Don't be so restrained. We are all on the same side today. There aren't many people. Leave the door open. It's convenient to serve the dishes later. You sit here. When Linge comes, let him sit next to you," Rwan Qingxuang said as she pulled Fangya to the seat next to her. When everyone just sat down, Linge strode over. I'm stuck. I can't drive on this road in the future. It's better to run. When I went to the Sunshine department store, I directly blocked the parking lot for 10 minutes. We agreed to do it tonight. Why did you still go to the mall?" Fangya said. "What do you need to buy? I will accompany you tonight." Linge smiled mysteriously. "You can't accompany me to buy this thing. It's too important. Moreover, I need to use it tonight. That's why I was so anxious. Without it at night I can't." Linge stopped halfway through his sentence. Everyone was confused and misunderstood. Fangya's face was a little red. Why did it seem like he had gone to buy something that only adults would use at night? Even if this is, he shouldn't say it in front of so many people, right? How embarrassing. Even Soo-yeon was shocked. It was indeed a bit unbelievable. Everyone didn't understand what Linge was selling. Chapter 1579. What nonsense are you talking about? What is so mysterious about it? Fangya looked at Linge. He didn't have anything in his hand. This time, she couldn't help but be curious. Since he wanted to use it, why didn't he bring it over? Linge chuckled. "Let's sit down and eat first. I've already sent someone to inform the kitchen when I arrived. Let's eat first. Sister Shuang must be hungry after such a long journey. Let's eat first. I have another piece of good news for you. I have been preparing this news for a long time. I decided to tell you today." Why is it getting more and more mysterious? What kind of news takes you a long time to prepare? Soo-yeon sat down and said. Then you have to think carefully before you say it. It's better to be a little sensational. Otherwise, my expectations will be in vain. Little Dongbei had already prepared, so the dishes were served very quickly. Soo-yeon and the others only had 6 people. The 12 exquisite dishes were enough for them to have a delicious meal. Little Dongbei's cooking skills had indeed improved very quickly. After all, he had stayed at the Xinjiang Xinkai Hotel for a while. He was surrounded by senior chefs, and he had a unique skill in cooking. After 3 rounds of drinking and half of the meal, Linge coughed softly, and was finally ready to speak. He took a deep breath and glanced at Fangya sitting next to him. Then he looked at Soo-yeon. He slowly took out a small box from his pocket and said to everyone, "Today, I want to announce something. You will be my witnesses and help me to witness all of this." Yo, what is this? Su Yun glanced at the small box in Lin Jiyi's hand. It seemed very exquisite. Thinking that he had been to the Sunshine department store, this matter might be very likely. Wow. Fan Bing looked at the small box and was stunned. It's Bulgari. After all, she was a regular in the luxury fashion industry. Naturally, she could recognize the outer packaging of these high-end brands at a glance. Hearing this, several women widened their eyes. It turned out to be like this. This was really a surprise. Lin Ge wanted to propose. She had even taken out the Bulgari box. If it wasn't a diamond ring, what else could it be? Fangya was obviously shocked by Lin Ji's actions. Obviously, as a woman, she longed for this day. When this day suddenly appeared, Fangya was obviously too excited. She was so excited that she didn't know what to say. I want to propose to Fangya. Lin Ge was very serious. There is no room for jokes in this matter. I want you to be my witnesses. I, Lin Ge, grew up without parents. The reason I had the confidence to survive when I was young was all because of the faith Brother Yun gave me. Otherwise, I would have given up on myself long ago. So today, I must promise in front of Brother Yun that I will remember today's promise. I will take care of Fangya for the rest of my life. With that, Lin Ge got up and turned around. He knelt down on one knee and looked at Fangya affectionately. From today onwards, you are my woman, Lin Ge, for the rest of your life. Fangya also looked at Lin Ge affectionately. He took out the ring and handed it over in a gentlemanly manner. At this moment, she didn't hesitate at all. She directly stretched out her right hand. She really didn't expect that this moment of happiness would come so suddenly. It caught her off guard. This was the biggest surprise in Fangya's life. She swore that she would love the man in front of her for the rest of her life. Fangya, I, Lin Ge, grew up without parents. I regard Brother Yin as my biological brother. I think if we get married, let him be my guardian. As Lin Ge spoke, he looked at Ruanqing Shuang. Sister Shuang, are you willing to be our witness? If you are, you can be my guardian like my brother, and help me marry my wife. Ruanqing Shuang was very touched. Of course she was willing. But she knew that Su Yun wouldn't agree to this. Because today they also wanted to give Lin Ge a surprise. No, this might not even be a surprise. Shock would be real. Pigeon, I wish you all the best. Su Yun. When you get married, I will definitely be at your beck and call. I will help you with everything. The only thing I can't do is be your guardian. Lin Ge shook his head. Why can't you do it? Fine, fine. I don't care. You have to do this for me. Otherwise, if I don't have two guardians, Fangya's parents will definitely think that I don't respect them. I am your brother. I will always be your brother. Su Yin. But you only have one father. Pigeon. I'm sorry I didn't tell you this. I just didn't know how to say it. I originally wanted to just tell you directly today. But since you proposed to Fangya, then consider it a reason I found. I have to let you know who your father is. Lin Ji's mind went blank. Was he joking with him? Brother, are you kidding me? Lin Ge opened his eyes in surprise. Who are you talking about? It's true. Su Yun had secretly contacted Lin Yonghe when Lin Ge proposed. After Lin Yonghe received Su Yun's message, he immediately rushed over according to the address. He really couldn't wait. Just as Su Yun's voice fell, Lin Yonghe slowly pushed open the door. Lin Ge immediately looked back. The moment he saw Lin Yonghe, he almost collapsed. Why is it him? Everyone held their breaths. For a moment, it seemed that no one knew what to say at this moment. Lin Ge stood up as if he was facing a great enemy. He glared at Lin Yonghe fiercely. Why don't you know what's good for you? Didn't I tell you not to show up again? I gave you a chance. Why don't you want it? Get lost and stay away from Qingdao. You don't understand Chinese, right? Is this a place where you are qualified to come? Get lost. The reason why Lin Ge suddenly became so angry was very simple. It was because he realized Lin Yonghe's identity the moment Lin Yonghe came in. Lin Yonghe suddenly burst into tears. He had prepared for everything, but the first thing his son said to him when he saw him was to tell him to get lost. This still deeply pierced his heart, which could not bear the blow at all. Pigeon, don't be so emotional. Calm down. Su Yin tried to comfort Lin Gu as much as possible. Lin Gu looked at Su Yin. Brother, this person wants to kill you. This person is my Lin Ji's enemy. In this place there is either him or me. If he doesn't get lost, then I will find a way to make him get lost. If I don't have a way, then I will admit defeat and get lost. Pigeon, don't be like this. Speak properly. Fangya said. This, after all, this is... Did you know it long ago? Lin Gu suddenly realized. No wonder Fangya said those words to him at noon. It turned out that he was still in the dark about all this. Why? Why didn't you tell me earlier? Fangya didn't know how to answer. She didn't know where to put her hands. It's not Fangya's fault. I didn't let her say it. Su Yin. Pigeon, this is all arranged by me. Brother. Lin Gu frowned. You should know that I don't like this kind of joke, right? Wan Qingshuang also said. This is not a joke, Pigeon. You are an adult. What you can accept and what you can't accept is a foregone conclusion. No one is wrong. Everyone will hide it from you just because they know that you will be in this state, so they don't dare to speak to you easily. Why? Why me? Lin Gu shook his head. I don't believe it. The person who is wrong is me. Lin Yonghe took a deep breath. I shouldn't have appeared. It has nothing to do with others. You shut up. You don't have the right to speak here. Lin Gu said angrily. I don't want to hear you speak now. Can you get lost as far away as possible? I don't want to see you. I don't want to hear your voice. Didn't you leave the Guqin Island already? Why are you here again? Su Yin could see that Lin Ji's emotions were on the verge of collapse. He quickly stood up and pressed his shoulder. I asked him to come back. If you want to pursue this matter, pursue it on me. Brother. Lin Ji's eyes were bloodshot. If you still think of me as your brother, listen to me. Calm down and face the problem. Su Yin. How many things have we experienced? Which one of them wasn't more difficult than this? They are thinking for me, but you can't just think for me. You have to think for yourself too. Look at how he treated you. Lin Ji's hatred was still spreading endlessly. Fangya pulled Lin Ji's hand over and placed it in her palm. I believe that Brother Yun made this decision after considering many things. You have to believe in him. It's because I believe in my brother too much. I know that he can't forgive this person, but because of me, he has no choice but to forgive this person. Lin Gu said, Why? Why should he be forgiven because of me? Why should he not be punished for his crimes? That's not fair. Lin Yonghe's lips trembled. I came today just to see you. Even if you don't recognize me, it's fine. I just want to say sorry to you. Keep your sorry and throw it into the trash can, Lin Gu said disdainfully. Listen to what he has to say. At this time, perhaps only Su Yun's order could calm Lin Gu down. Lin Gu suppressed his belly full of words. Okay, tell me. What do you have to make me recognize you? What do you have to make me recognize you? What qualifications do you have to be my father? Are you worthy? I know. I made a lot of mistakes. Lin Yonghe was grateful that Su Yin stood up for him. He also remembered what Wang Yi told him. If he wanted to be forgiven, he had to understand where he was wrong. It wasn't the fault of the past 20 years, but the fault of abandoning his family 20 years ago. Everything that happened today is because I didn't dare to take responsibility back then. If I had taken responsibility back then, today's things wouldn't have happened. Lin Gu sneered. Don't talk about such trivial matters. Whether or not you dare to take the responsibility has nothing to do with me. I really don't think it's meaningful, and I don't think it's necessary. As for you, don't be unreasonable with me. Regardless of whether you forgive me or not, I will still make a new choice. I will once again bear the responsibility for the mistakes I made back then, and also bear the responsibility for the mistakes I made today, Lin Yonghe said. I will accept all the punishment that belongs to me. Today, I came to see you. I just want to see you. Hearing this, Lin Gu had some doubts in his heart. Would Lin Yonghe accept the punishment that belonged to him? Why didn't he like to believe it? But what if what he said was true? I'm very happy that you can find such a good other half. Lin Yonghe looked at Fangya with sincere eyes. Thank you, really thank you. Thank you for taking care of him. I hope my identity won't affect your relationship. I definitely won't disturb your life. As long as you're happy, I'm satisfied. Uncle Lin, don't say that. Fangya was very embarrassed, but because of Lin Ji's position, she didn't know how to comfort Lin Yonghe. Lin Ge shook his head vigorously. All right, this is what you said. Lin Yonghe, you said you just wanted to see me. I'll keep the news you gave me. When I marry Fangya, I'll tell everyone that I, Lin Ge, am your son Lin Yonghe. Are you satisfied now? If you're satisfied, then scram. You can accept the punishment wherever you want. Lin Yonghe was very embarrassed, but he could see that everyone had done their best, so he didn't want to trouble them. Then I will leave first. You guys eat slowly. Take care, I won't see you out. The person who said this was actually Su Yun. Everyone originally thought that he would urge Lin Yonghe to stay, but they didn't expect that Su Yun would be even more anxious than Lin Ge to send her away. Wasn't it he who wanted Lin Yonghe to come? Lin Yonghe smiled bitterly and didn't say anything. He turned and left. When he reached the door, he looked back. Thank you for helping Lin Ge. Also, I wish you all happiness forever. Lin Yonghe left, stirring up the entire dinner. Su Yun also got up and walked out. Behind Lin Yonghe, she said in a low voice, "Send me your hotel address." After saying that, Su Yun closed the door of the room and let everything calm down. Lin Yonghe realized there was still a chance, but he didn't believe there was. He just smiled bitterly and did as Su Yun said. Lin Ge picked up the wine glass on the table, filled it to the brim, and took a big gulp. He was very depressed, but he couldn't vent his anger on these people. These people did it for him. He should thank them. Dove, can I say a few words? Ruan Qingshuang knew Su Yun. She knew that Su Yun wouldn't let this matter end like this. Lin Ge didn't accept Lin Yonghe, so this matter didn't progress. Instead, it gave Lin Ge a belly full of resentment. It was better not to do it. Lin Ge smiled reluctantly. Sister Shuang, I know you're doing it for Dove. I'll listen to whatever you say. Let me tell you my story first. Maybe after you hear it, it can divert your attention, Ruan Qingshuang said. Come, you can drink quite well. Drink with me again. Ruan Qingshuang couldn't drink, but she still frowned and took a sip. Lin Ge naturally didn't hesitate and drank another glass. Sister Shuang, I toast you. Chapter 1581. Ruan Qingshuang put down her wine glass and smiled. You should have heard how Su Yun and I met. It was a scoundrel who brought a few hooligans to my restaurant to ask for money. I was already forced into a dead end, and Su Yun's bravery helped me solve the problem. If it wasn't for Su Yun, I might have already. It's all in the past. There's no need to bring it up, Su Yun said lightly. It's all in the past. It's much better now. Yes, it's much better now. Ruan Qingshuang continued. Back then, that ruffian kept calling me sister-in-law. In fact, I had nothing to do with him at all. It was my parents who agreed to that ruffian's family's proposal to let me marry that ruffian's brother, because they wanted to raise the money for my brother's marriage. That scoundrel's family was not bad. His father was the secretary of our branch. He had power and influence, but I didn't have any feelings for him. He only knew how to run amok in the village and bully the people. I couldn't marry someone like that. At that time, Ruan Qingshuang's situation had really put her in a difficult position. She had escaped and come to Hudong City, because she had no other choice. None of you can understand why I chose to leave, Ruan Qingshuang said. My resentment towards my parents is really deep, but I also feel that I've let them down. I also feel that I've let my brother down. I don't want to exchange my happiness for anything, so I chose to escape. During the years I ran away, what happened to my family made me regret it, Ruan Qingshuang said. I don't even know if what I did was worth it or not. At that time, I was so determined that I would never forgive them in this life. When I saw them again, when I saw their old faces and their difficult situation, I really regretted it. If I had known that they would be in such a situation now, I don't even know if I would have chosen to escape, Lin Ge said firmly. Of course you have to escape, Sister Shuang. No one has the right to control your life, not even your parents. They can't use your child's happiness and future as a bargaining chip. No matter what, I support your actions back then. Otherwise, you wouldn't have met Brother Yin. Your decision was correct. I know it's the right thing to do, but I still can't bear to do it. Ruan Qingshuang said, My father is only 50 years old, but he looks like he is 70 years old. His hair is already white, and his face is full of wrinkles. He is always so thin. Especially his hands, which are full of bulging veins, are full of calluses. Every time I hold his hand, the feeling in my heart. I really can't describe that kind of pain. Everyone fell into silence. When the word father was mentioned, it was believed that many people would think of the oil painting created by the artist-teacher Luo Zhongli in the 1980s. Perhaps in the eyes of many city children, this painting should not be called father, but farmer. But in the eyes of the poor village children, this was their father in their eyes and in their hearts. Anyone who saw the painting would have a deep impression of it. The old man's skin was dark, and his thin face was full of wrinkles like ravines and ruts. His sunken eyes showed sadness and confusion, but also a bit of sincerity, as if he was reminiscing about the past and looking forward to the future. He let us feel the kindness of a cow and sheep's gaze. His chapped and burned lips seemed to have been air-dried for a long time. His mouth, which only had one front tooth left, had tasted so much sour, sweet, bitter, and spicy. His big, wounded hand, which was like a rake, held a broken, coarse porcelain bowl to drink water. Countless beads of sweat seeped out of his small pores and slid down his thin beard. There was also the mole that symbolized the color of tragedy, deeply imprinting the tragic brand of his hard labor life. Standing in front of this huge portrait, people could feel the unique smell of tobacco leaves on his body, feel his skin trembling, and feel his blood rushing. When Ruan Qingshuang saw her father after so many years, the image she thought of was teacher Luo Zhongli's oil painting. So, no one could understand the self-blame and annoyance in her heart. Lin Ge was silent for a while. He was indeed thinking. Pigeon, people are not saints. Who doesn't make mistakes? Ruan Qingshuang said lightly, I know that you have your bottom line, but when an old man who has already reached the age of knowing his destiny wants to apologize and wants to make up for it, it might really be the last extravagant hope and request in his life. Everyone was silent. This topic was a bit heavy. Lin Ge even felt that it was so heavy that he could not breathe. If you can forgive, then forgive. Time passes faster than any of us can imagine. As Ruan Qingshuang spoke, her eyes were already glistening with tears. Unconsciously, she suddenly opened her mouth and softly sang that tear-inducing ballad. The old tree in front of the door grows new buds. The withered tree in the courtyard blossoms again. Half of my life, I've stored so many words. I've hidden a head of white hair. I've remembered little feet. And a chubby little mouth. I've given my love to him all my life, just for him to call me father and mother. Where has time gone? I haven't properly experienced my youth, and I'm already old. Have children and adopt children? All my life, my head is full of children crying and laughing. Where has time gone? I haven't properly experienced my eyes, and I'm already seeing things. Daily necessities. Half my life, in the blink of an eye, all that's left is a face full of wrinkles. Where has time gone? I haven't properly experienced my youth, and I'm already old. Have children and adopt children? All my life, my head is full of children crying and laughing. Where has time gone? I haven't properly experienced my eyes, and I'm already seeing things. Daily necessities? Half my life, in the blink of an eye, all that's left is a face full of wrinkles. At the end of the song, Ruan Qingshuang's tears couldn't stop rolling out of the corners of her eyes. She really didn't want to listen to this song. The feelings that this song brought to her were really too deep. Everyone would feel heavy. The weight of this song in the hearts of any parent or child would really weigh 1,000 pounds. Under Ruan Qingshuang's gentle and beautiful singing, Lin Ji's anger turned into silence. His silence seemed to be heavier than others. Any parent would sigh about where their time had gone. Lin Ge suddenly began to understand why Lin Yonghe would appear in front of him so recklessly. Yes, in the blink of an eye, all that's left was a face full of wrinkles. He believed that even if Lin Yonghe only wanted revenge for 20 years, when he closed his eyes, the image of his child crying and laughing would still appear, right? His love had turned into hatred. He suddenly came to a realization when he was over 50 years old. Dove, you should give him a chance. No matter what happened, no matter how unwilling you are. Ruan Qingshuang said. But time can't wait for another 20 years. These 20 years have been wasted too much. Suyin took a deep breath. Sister Shuang is right. Dove, think about this matter carefully. Where should you go? After saying this, Suyin put the phone in front of Lin Ge. His address is on this phone. I asked him to leave it for me. We've already told you what we want you to do. The rest of the matter is up to you to make your own choice. Don't worry, no matter what choice you make, I'll support you. All of us support you. Fangya also nodded. Yes, we all support you. No matter what your decision is, I'll listen to you. Thank you. Lin Ge couldn't help it. But he was a man. He had always adhered to the oath of not shedding tears. How could he cry in front of women? He got up and went straight to the bathroom. At this time, only the cold tap water could wash away the uncontrollable tears in his eyes. When the tears and water mixed together, Lin Ji's heart calmed down a little. He only took a glance at the address on Su Yun's phone and deeply remembered it. What he was thinking in his heart, only he knew. Chapter 1582. All right, let's stop here for now. We haven't finished drinking, we haven't finished eating, and we haven't finished digesting your good news. Ruan Qingshuang smiled and changed the topic. She held back her tears and said, So we have to continue sharing your good news. Since you've proposed, I'll give you a vacation. You can take Fangya on a trip whenever you want. Fangya smiled embarrassedly. Sister Shuang, we're not getting married. We don't need a honeymoon trip. Let him stay in the company and work hard. I think he's improved a lot. He's become fond of reading. Let him take care of himself. That way, I'll feel more at ease when I marry him. Little ya, that's where you're wrong. Life is bitter and short. Ruan Qingshuang said. Work is important, but rest is also important. Sometimes going out for a walk and emptying your mind will give you unexpected inspiration. It can even change a person's view of the world. Lin Ge forced a smile. Then I'll thank Sister Shuang first. It's just, I haven't decided where to go yet. It won't be too late to go after I've decided. He definitely wasn't in the mood to travel. His mind was full of Lin Yonghe's matter. He tried to deny it 1,000 times, but there was still a call in his heart. Is it hard to choose a place? What, Maldives, Phuket? Aren't those all pretty good places? Ruan Qingshuang said. I'll help you decide the route. Is that okay? Sister Shuang, I grew up on an island. I've seen many places more beautiful than the Maldives. Lin Ge still forced a smile. I don't have any interest in those places. Fangya used to fly overseas. She's been to all these places. If we want to go, we'll go to a place like Jiangzong. Can you consider a girl's feelings? What's so romantic about Jiangzong? Go challenge the limits of the human body. Ruan Qingshuang pretended to be angry and glared at Lin Ge. Do you know what's romantic? Bringing her to a place like Venice is what I call romantic. I realize that you guys only want to go to places like Tibet. I really don't understand. Chou Yun also agreed with Ruan Qingshuang's point of view. Yes, we must go to Venice. It's the romantic capital of the world. Some people say that people all over the world want to go to Paris because Paris is the city of romance. Then Parisians want to go to Venice the most. Ha ha ha, do you know where the people of Venice want to go? Su Yun suddenly said, the people in Venice are probably the same as the people in Jiangnan Watertown. They want to go to a drier place. The feeling of drying clean clothes in the wardrobe is really not good. Can you not add to the mess? Who asked you to settle down? It's just a trip. Even if it's the feeling of the tide, it's still better than the dry and uncomfortable breathing inland every day. Ruan Qingshuang said, I hate the environment in Jibei. It's dry and the air is seriously polluted. Sigh. This was a fact. The environment in Jibei had not improved for so many years. Every time Su Yun went there, he would leave an impression of dirty and messy. This was probably the impression that many people would leave. There was nothing to deny. This was an indisputable fact. Su Yun had been with Zhang Taisui in Jibei since he was born. He was more or less half a person in Jibei, so he did not want Jibei to leave such an impression on the people of the country. However, if Jibei did not clean up, it would be embarrassing to call it a provincial capital. If Zhang Taisui had not taken root in Jibei for Sky Entertainment, Suyun really hoped to move the headquarters of Sky Entertainment to Qingdao. After all, 2/3 of the work was done in Qingdao. Sky Entertainment Group basically only had face left in Jibei. Compared to Yanjing and Xinjiang, Jibei was actually not suitable for Sky Entertainment Group to take root there. However, Zhang Taisui had a special relationship with Jibei. Whether it was students on campus or people who had stepped into society for a long time, perhaps they still had an impact on Mr. Laoxi's article. Winter in Jibei. He believed that Zhang Taisui also thought so. There was no wind in winter in Jibei. It was sunny in winter in Jibei. Jibei was a treasure land. The ancient Jibei was so narrow inside the city and so spacious outside the city. There were some small villages on the hillside. There was snow on the roofs of the small villages, however. These scenes were all in the past. In today's Jibei, there was no such beautiful ink painting. There were tall buildings and endless traffic. Looking for a place to park the car? Sorry, you really need to put in some effort. This place was really not as suitable for transportation as Yanjing, Xinjiang, or Guangshan. For some reason, as they drank and chatted, the topic changed to the problem of the city. Ruan Qingshuang considered it from a third party's point of view. She felt that Sky Entertainment Group should be moved to Qingdao. However, Suyun knew that was absolutely impossible. Even if it was an empty shell, the Sky Entertainment Group in Jibei had to stand tall. This was Zhang Taisui's route. This was also the reason why Zhou Meiyan moved most of her work to Qingdao, but still left a part of it in Jibei. In comparison, Zhou Meiyan thought more thoroughly. Suyun also understood the significance of this. Because once Sky Entertainment Group left Jibei, Zhou Meiyan would no longer feel that she was working for Zhang Taisui. Zhang Taisui's kindness to her was much purer than Lin Yonghe's kindness to Fan Bing. There was no relationship of using him at all. Therefore, no matter what, Zhou Meiyan could not let Sky Entertainment's face leave Jibei. Faced with the current topic, Lin Gu really couldn't listen at all. Of course, no one disturbed him, including Fangya. Everyone let Lin Gu be in a daze, because he was thinking about a problem. He was thinking about whether he should go to the address that had been deeply imprinted in his mind. Lin Gu was very surprised that he hadn't forgotten the address. How did his memory become so good? If he had already forgotten the address, then he wouldn't have to think about it anymore. Then he would only need to sit quietly on the side and discuss the problem of environmental pollution with everyone. Unlike now, when he couldn't hear anything at all. His ears were filled with empty sounds, and the empty sounds kept circling in his mind. Lin Gu unconsciously took deep breaths many times. He didn't know the answer. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know what was the right thing to do. Dinner was finally over. Today's meal was not only to welcome Ruan Qingshuang, but also to send Fan Bing off. She was leaving for the set tomorrow. Her injury had delayed a lot of things. Now that her psychological problems had mostly been solved, she decided to start working again. She wanted to return to her original self and be the real Fan Bing again. She didn't want to treat her identity as an assassin as her number one identity. Lin Gu went home with Fangya. Suyun was very relieved. With Fangya by his side, even if Lin Gu couldn't figure it out, he wouldn't do anything extreme. Cho Yun also went back to rest early. She had to leave for a while tomorrow. She wanted to go back to Suang. As for what she was going to do, no one asked. Even if they asked, she probably wouldn't say. Ruan Qingshuang couldn't hold her liquor. After the meal, she began to feel dizzy. Although she only drank a little, she began to feel dizzy. Every step she took was unsteady. If Suyun didn't support her, it would be difficult for her to walk back to her room. You drank at least 3.5 ounces today. After Suyun helped Ruan Qingshuang back to her room, he looked at Ruan Qingshuang, who couldn't hold her liquor at all, and smiled. Don't drink so much if you can't drink. Is it very uncomfortable? I'll go out and buy some hangover medicine for you. No need. It's not that bad, right? I think it's good like this. I feel dizzy, Ruan Qingshuang said with a red face. It turns out that this is the feeling of being drunk. It's like riding the clouds. It's good. It's good. I'm fine. Chapter 1583. Generally speaking, everyone had encountered this situation before. The more they said that they had drunk too much and couldn't drink anymore, the more likely they were not drunk. And the more they said that they were fine and could still drink, the more likely they were feeling the effects of the alcohol. Obviously, 3 or 4 grams of white wine was enough to make Ruan Qingshuang confused. Su-yin could understand why she drank a lot of white wine today. When she mentioned her relationship with her parents today, she was indeed very sad. Because during that time, when her parents were lonely, she could never make up for it. No matter what she did, she couldn't make up for it. So when she mentioned it today, she drank so much. You're the only one who can calm the pigeons down. Su-yin smiled and took out a bottle of black tea for Ruan Qingshuang. If it weren't for me, I really don't know what to do. But don't think too much. Some things are over. If you bring it up again, you will be torturing yourself. And I won't think about it. Ruan Qingshuang took the black tea from Su-yin. I just feel that pigeon is quite pitiful. If it were me, I don't know if I could accept it. Su-yin nodded. Yes, but he has to face it. Running away won't solve the problem. He can hide for a while, but he can't hide forever. If he doesn't face it now, and if Lin Yonghe really pleads guilty and accepts the law, he will have to go to jail and bear the punishment. Then he will not have the chance to face it in the future. Ruan Qingshuang looked at Su-yin. Is Lin Yonghe's crime so serious? I have asked around. Back then he was involved in the production of fake medicine, and the circumstances were serious. You should know that the production and sale of fake medicine, which causes death or serious harm to human health, will be sentenced to more than 10 years in prison, life imprisonment, or even death. Su-yin, although no one died in his case, it's a serious health hazard. The lightest sentence is 10 years. Moreover, he escaped, which will increase his sentence. 20 years later, he came back and tried to murder me again. Although it was an attempted murder, he would still be sentenced. But this matter involves Fanbing, so I can't sue him. It would implicate Fanbing. Hearing this, Ruan Qingshuang realized that the problem was serious. If that was the case, it wouldn't be too much to sentence Lin Yonghe to life imprisonment. If Lin Yonghe really went to plead guilty, Lin Gu wouldn't have a chance to face her after she went in. It was no wonder that Su-yin would make such a decision so quickly. He had thought about it longer than any of them. What's done can't be undone. It's up to Lin Gu to decide. Ruan Qingshuang lowered her head and said, Do you think he can make it? If it's just him alone, it's hard to say, Su-yin said. Lin Gu has a stubborn temper. More stubborn than you? Ruan Qingshuang looked up at Su-yin. That's true. Otherwise, why are you brothers? You all have the same bad temper. You like to go down a dead end whenever you think of something. In fact, for many things, if you think about it the other way around, there must be other options. If A is the answer that won't work, why not choose B? Su-yin suddenly thought of the Marty Franz Island serious crime prison. Then what if both A and B don't work? You still have the nerve to say that Lin Gu is stubborn. I think you're even more stubborn than him. Ruan Qingshuang said. If both A and B don't work, then why don't you think about it? Why do you have to choose between A and B? Is it that if it's not A, then it's B? And if it's not B, then it's A? Can't you choose C? There must be many, many ways to solve a problem. Su-yin nodded. He admitted that this was true. However, if he could think of many ways to solve a problem, then it wouldn't be a problem in his eyes. A problem, in his eyes, was definitely not easy to solve. It was good enough to have a solution. Lin Gu is also a stubborn little bull. You know that, then you shouldn't let him go. Ruan Qingshuang said. You should let him stay and talk to him. If he was alone, I would definitely let him stay and talk to him. But there's still Fangya. Su-yin. The words of a girl you love are definitely more effective than anyone else. I believe in Fangya, so I dared to let them leave. Ruan Qingshuang rubbed her temples. Yes, how could I forget? There's still Fangya. Then I'm relieved. Sigh, my brain. You know that your brain isn't working well. Do you admit that you drank too much? Su-yin, with your alcohol tolerance, don't drink white wine in the future. Just drink red wine. Ruan Qingshuang rarely showed such a naughty smile. But I suddenly found that sometimes drinking white wine is much better than drinking red wine. Because white wine is more like my life. And, how should I say it? I think red wine is like the good times of life. There is a hint of sourness and sweetness in the mellow, which makes you have a rich aftertaste. White wine is more like the adversity of life. There is a strong bitterness in the mellow taste. Isn't my metaphor very vivid? Su Yin picked up the black tea that Ruan Qingshuang had just put down. But as long as I'm here, your life is like black tea. You'll never feel bitter or spicy again. Really? Ruan Qingshuang suddenly bit her lower lip. When Lin Ge proposed to Fangya today, she was really moved. She was also envious, really envious. If it wasn't because Su Yin already knew about the Mardi Franz Island serious crime prison. If it wasn't because Su Yin still couldn't figure out where he should go. Su Yin really wanted to express what he wanted to express to Ruan Qingshuang. But he couldn't do it now. He didn't know if he could come back if he chose to break into the Mardi Franz Island serious crime prison in the end. So he didn't dare to make promises easily. He didn't dare to make promises to anyone. Moreover, if he made a promise to Ruan Qingshuang, it would bring harm and pain to many people at the same time. Su Yin was really conflicted about how to deal with his situation. Sigh, but now he really didn't have time to think about his own affairs. Lin Ji's matter hadn't been confirmed yet. You've been working hard these days. I'll help you run the bathwater. Ruan Qingshuang didn't want to think too much about the future. From the first day she fell in love with Su Yin, she knew that if she wanted to love this man, she had to do more than others. Because he was different from other men. Let me do it. How can I be tired? You, on the other hand, have been a lot more haggard recently. Su Yin felt sorry for her. Actually, I really don't want you to worry so much about Sky Entertainment. Ruan Qingshuang shook her head. I'm tired? Then what about Zhuo Meiyan? I'm afraid she can only rest on the plane these 2 days. Compared to what she's done for Sky Entertainment, what I'm doing is nothing. Su Yin was happy that she could understand Zhuo Meiyan. He also felt sorry for Zhuo Meiyan. If he could focus on Sky Entertainment, maybe they wouldn't have to work so hard. Fangya drove Lin Ge home. On the way home, Lin Ge was silent. He was always absent-minded, but he didn't want Fangya to see that. But he couldn't hide it. Fangya did not disturb him. She drove the car carefully and let Lin Ge think about the problem for a while. It was not a bad thing for him. Maybe he could figure it out after thinking about it for a while. Finally, the car drove into the basement. Lin Ge suddenly came back to his senses. They were home. Chapter 1584. Fangya, what do you think I should do? Lin Ge had been struggling with this problem for a long time. He really had no choice but to ask Fangya. Should I go see him or not? Fangya smiled slightly. Are you really willing to listen to my opinion? Yes. Lin Ge nodded. He needed someone to give him motivation. Although he had already made his decision, he really didn't have the courage. He needed someone to give him courage, and Fangya was the most suitable person. Let's go, Fangya said. Shuang Jie's words are right. Man is not a saint. How can there be no mistakes? I admit that some mistakes are hard to forgive, but everyone has the chance to be forgiven. He doesn't expect to be forgiven by anyone. He only wants to be forgiven by you. So you should go. You really should go. Phew. Lin Ge took a deep breath and finally nodded. After Lin Yonghe returned to the hotel, he sat on the sofa in a daze. Although Su Yin finally gave him his current address, he didn't see any hope. He didn't expect Lin Ge to forgive him at all. He had seen Lin Ji's attitude very clearly. Asking him to forgive him was forcing him. He had done a lot of things to let him down, so Lin Yonghe didn't want to force him anymore. He also planned to use practical actions to make up for the mistakes he had made in the past, and to bear the mistakes he should bear. But just after Lin Yonghe spent more than 2 hours in the hotel in a daze, someone knocked on his door. He came back to his senses and asked weakly, "Who is it?" "It's me." The moment Lin Ji's voice came from outside the door, Lin Yonghe felt as if he had heard the sound of nature from the sky. He almost couldn't believe his ears. All of this was like a dream. Lin Yonghe rubbed his forehead hard. Was it just an illusion? Open the door or not. If not, I'm leaving. Lin Ge still looked very impatient. Lin Yongha strode forward and opened the door. Seeing his son standing at the door, he felt a joy that he had never felt before in his life. Lin Ge didn't say anything. He walked straight in and closed the door. He walked straight to the sofa and sat down. He didn't raise his head to look at Lin Yongha's extremely happy and surprised expression. He tried to speak several times, but in the end he stopped himself. I'll get you some water. Lin Yongha didn't know what to say. She could only try to use her actions to change the awkward atmosphere. There's no need. Lin Ge finally spoke up. I just wanted to take a look at you, that's all. You said that you would take responsibility for the mistakes you made in the past. How will you take responsibility? Lin Yongha smiled bitterly. She also sat opposite Lin Ge. I will leave the Guqin Island tomorrow. I will turn myself in. When Lin Ge heard this, he suddenly fell silent. Surrender? The sentence would definitely not be light. He knew that this was the punishment that Lin Yongha deserved, but when he heard it, he felt a trace of sadness. Oh. Lin Ge nodded. He had a lot to say, but in the end he only said one word. Lin Yongha rubbed her knees. I don't expect you to forgive me. I also didn't expect that my appearance would bring you so much unhappiness. I couldn't help it. I was too selfish. I didn't think about your feelings. I'm sorry. The problem between you and me is not something that can be solved by saying sorry. Lin Ge said indifferently. Forget it. I've thought it through. No one can change what has already happened. I can't forgive you. Yes. Lin Yongha forced a smile. He already felt very relieved that Lin Ge could come. He really didn't ask for forgiveness. Lin Ge was silent for a while. Then he spoke again. After you accept the punishment that you deserve, I will forgive you. This news was like thunder in Lin Yongha's ears. After a buzzing sound, Lin Yongha felt that her heartbeat had never been so fast. Is what you said true? Yes. Lin Ge nodded. Fangya told me that what you want to hear the most now is me calling you Dad. Lin Yongha realized that the biggest surprise of his life was coming. However, Lin Ge still disappointed him. But I won't acknowledge you now. Lin Ge said. After you accept the punishment that you deserve, I will consider it. Although disappointed, this was still good news. Lin Yongha nodded with all his strength. He definitely wouldn't disappoint Lin Ge. Okay, if there's nothing else, I'll leave first. Lin Ge stood up. This was all he could do for Lin Yongha. You're leaving now? Lin Yongha didn't dare to be too greedy, so he didn't dare to ask anything. Lin Ge nodded and didn't answer. Lin Yongha forced a smile. Then I'll send you off. Lin Ge didn't agree or refuse. The two of them walked out of the room one after the other. They didn't speak until they reached the entrance of the hotel. It wasn't until Lin Ge was about to take a taxi that Lin Yongha said again. Wait, I have something to tell you. Go ahead. Lin Ge didn't look back. That day in the tea house of the golf community in Yang District, I told Su Yun's father's current situation. Lin Yongha said calmly. Lin Ge was stunned. Su Yun hadn't told him about this. What do you know? I told him that Su Chun is in the prison on Martifren Island. Lin Yongha took a deep breath. Lin Ge suddenly turned around. Is this true? It's true. Lin Yongha could tell from Lin Ji's reaction that Lin Ge must have heard about the prison on Martifren Island. Of course, Lin Ge had heard about it. That place of no return could be said to be the most forbidden place in the world. Whoever was lucky to be locked up there basically meant that they would be alone in that place for the rest of their lives. Are you crazy? Lin Ge said angrily. Do you know that if my brother knows about this, he will definitely find a way to go to that place? You can't get out of that place. Lin Yongha lowered her head in shame. Because I was thinking about revenge, so I regret it now. I know you have a good relationship with him, so please help me stop Su Yun and don't let him go. If something happens to him because of this, I won't be able to rest in peace for the rest of my life. It's not just you who won't be able to rest in peace for the rest of your life. I won't be able to rest in peace either. Lin Ge said. Lin Yongha, I wanted to forgive you, but I really didn't know that you would do such a thing. You I know you will blame me if I tell you, but if I don't tell you, it will be my bigger mistake. Lin Yongha said. I know you don't recognize me, but I still beg you to stop him. Lin Ge took a deep breath. You don't have to beg me, I will stop him. And I'm telling you, if you can't stop him, I will go with him. You can't go to that place. Lin Yongha trembled all over, and her face changed instantly. You know you can't go now? What did you do earlier? Lin Ge said angrily. You know you can't go to that place, but you still told my brother that his dad is there. What kind of intentions are you harboring? Good. Right, I forgot. You don't have good intentions at all. Lin Yongha regretted telling him this. Seeing Lin Ji's anger, he really regretted it. But he knew that if he didn't say it, if something really happened to Su Yin in the future, Lin Ge still wouldn't forgive him even if he washed away all his sins. It's my fault. Only you can help me redeem. Lin Yongha looked at Lin Ge and said faintly. You are ruthless, really ruthless. Lin Ge nodded. Well then I will tell you. When you have a chance to wash away your sins in the future, if I'm not here, then don't blame me for not being able to forgive you. Lin Yongha was stunned. Looking at Lin Ge, who waved his hand and got into the taxi, he finally understood the principle of revenge. In the end, his mistake would be borne by his son. Forget it, the heavens help the worthy. He could only pray for these two children in the future. Chapter 1585. On the way out, Lin Ge kept thinking about a problem. Should he not have given Lin Yongha any hope at all? What he did was really too despairing. Lin Ge was really desperate. How could he convince Brother Yin? If he wanted Su Yin to not go to that place, it would probably be more difficult than Su Yin convincing him to forgive Lin Yongha, right? There was no danger in forgiving Lin Yongha, but going to Marty Franz Island was hell. There was no comparison between the two at all. Lin Ge shook his head helplessly. It was really one wave after another. Why couldn't life be peaceful? Although it was already very late, when the taxi driver asked Lin Ge where to go, Lin Ge said without thinking, Movie Hotel. Yo little brother, that place isn't cheap. Staying there for a night costs at least this much, right? The taxi driver stretched out 3 fingers and shook them, meaning that it was 3,000 yuan. Lin Ge didn't want people to say that the movie hotel was so expensive. If that were the case, who would dare to go if the taxi driver said that it was so expensive? It's a little expensive, but you have to look at the class. Why don't you take a closer look at the class of this place? You can often see big stars here. If you can get an autograph from an international A-lister, one autograph can be sold for tens of thousands. Really? The taxi driver was stunned. He didn't expect there to be such a thing. If he could really get an autograph from a famous person, wouldn't he be able to make a lot of money? This was more than he could make by running a taxi for a month. Lin Ge nodded. Of course it's true. However, he thought about it again. People who would stay at the movie hotel were definitely rich people. How could they care about this little money? He really didn't need to explain anything to the driver. Not many people who took a taxi would choose to stay at the movie hotel. When the car arrived at the movie and television hotel, Lin Ge was stunned again. He couldn't go. It was already so late, and Sister Shuang was coming again today. If he went at this time, wouldn't he be causing trouble? Maybe with Sister Shuang around, Su Yin wouldn't be willing to throw himself into the abyss of suffering. Forget it. Lin Ge waved his hand. Driver, let's go. I'm not staying at the hotel. I'm going home. The taxi driver was stunned. What was this kid trying to do? Soon he came to a realization. Oh, I understand now. You must have come out to ask Big Pow out. Now you're regretting it. You feel that it's not worth spending so much money on a girl, right? I say, driver, isn't your imagination a little too rich? Tell me. I mean, what's good about you? Lin Ge said. I think that you're really not suitable to be a taxi driver. You're more suitable to write online novels. Write something like your 25-year-old female friend. You'll definitely have a lot of clicks. It won't be a problem to earn 1 million or 800,000 a year. The taxi driver grinned. No, I don't have that ability. If I had the ability to write, who would drive? I have to run hundreds of kilometers every day. It's really tiring. But are you sure you don't want to go? Don't regret it when you leave later. I'm thinking for you. I really don't have an appointment. After Lin Ge told the taxi driver the address, he closed his eyes and stopped talking nonsense with him. The taxi driver was really good at talking. He talked about the sky, the ground, and the air. His mouth didn't stop talking all the way. However, this also allowed Lin Ge to think less about those annoying things. Fangya was relieved when Lin Ge came back. This way, the burden in Lin Ji's heart could be reduced. However, she didn't know that although Lin Ji's burden was reduced, his shoulders were heavier because of Su Yun's matter. Of course, Lin Ge didn't want Fangya to know about these things. He also didn't want Fangya to worry about him. He just told her that everything was going smoothly. Ruan Qingshuang snuggled up to Su Yun's shoulder. The light duvet on her body was slightly damp from their sweat, but it didn't affect their hot bodies at all. Su Yun's hands were still wandering around Ruan Qingshuang's back, feeling every inch of her skin gently. Ruan Qingshuang was so quiet, like a sleeping kitten, lying on his chest obediently. Su Yun suddenly felt very reluctant to part with her. Marty's incident in the prison on Francis Island always appeared in his mind in the dead of night. Every time this incident appeared in his mind, he became more and more restless. He became more and more impatient. He wanted to end everything more and more. However, looking at Ruan Qingshuang beside him, Su Yun felt that the shackles on his body were much heavier. He didn't know if he could turn back on the road ahead. If he couldn't turn back, then what should she do? Where should she go? What about other people besides Ruan Qingshuang? Su Yun felt that his temples were particularly swollen. If Yu Marin knew that he would be trapped in that place, how could she persevere? There was also Zhuo Meiyan. She would put all her energy into Sky Entertainment Group. In addition to repaying the debt of gratitude, it was also for him. Su Yun didn't dare to continue thinking. The more he thought, the heavier the shackles on his body became. These would be the reasons that would stop him from completing this matter. However, Su Yun still couldn't completely put this matter to the back of his mind. There was no way. There was really no way. There was no way at all. All along, everyone had blamed Lin Yonghe for telling him the truth. He didn't feel that Lin Yonghe was torturing him at all. Until now, Su Yun finally realized that this was really a kind of torture for him. Mencius once said, "Fish is what I desire. Bear paws are also what I desire. If I can't have both, I will give up the fish and take the bear paws. Life is what I desire. Righteousness is also what I desire. If I can't have both, I will give up my life and take the righteousness. Life is also what I desire. If I desire more than I desire, I will not obtain it. Death is also what I hate. If I hate more than the dead, I will not avoid calamity." The choice Su Yun now faced was like a fish and a bare paw. When a person was faced with this kind of choice, the choice was so difficult to make. "What are you thinking about?" Although Ruan Qingshuang's eyes were closed, she could hear the changes in Su Yun's heartbeat from his chest. At this moment, Su Yun's heartbeat suddenly became violent, then returned to normal. Of course, there was something on his mind. Su Yun smiled faintly. Nothing. I was just thinking. When can we just quietly lie in the room like this, not thinking about anything, not doing anything? Then what's the meaning of life? Ruan Qingshuang smiled and said, "The kind of life you are talking about is the life of a lucky person who can hold a golden spoon from birth and not starve to death for a lifetime without doing anything. But you are different. Your life should be more meaningful than theirs. Why would you want to be a walking corpse?" Su Yun smiled bitterly. Yes, his life was very meaningful. But this was a bit too meaningful. Every time he faced a choice, it was so heart-wrenching. If it weren't for the people around him who loved him, Su Yun really didn't know how long he could hold on. "Don't worry. I will unconditionally support all your decisions. It was like this in the past, and it will be like this in the future," Ruan Qingshuang said. "Because you have always been like this to me. So you should be able to understand me. Is that so?" Su Yun nodded. Ruan Qingshuang was right. "But if there is something I don't want you to support me in, that means this thing, deep down in your heart, you don't think you should do it," Ruan Qingshuang said. "If you think you should do it, you won't refuse my support for you. This sentence made Su-yin silent. Is that so? Does he really think that this thing shouldn't be done deep down in his heart? Is he unwilling to admit it? So he didn't expect it. Chapter 1586. The next morning, the first thing Linge did when he found Su-yin was to make things clear. He wasn't in the mood to hide it. When Linge rushed to Su-yin's office in a hurry, he saw that Ruan Qingshuang was also there. He first greeted Ruan Qingshuang, then immediately said to Su-yin, "Brother, I have something to talk to you about. If it's convenient for you, come out with me." Su-yin was stunned. "What's the matter? Let's talk here. There are no outsiders." "And yes, he." Linge smiled helplessly with an embarrassed face. "Sister Shuang, if it's convenient for you that, I have something to talk to Brother Yin about. Do you think it's convenient for you? And I understand. It's about men, right?" Ruan Qingshuang smiled slightly. "You can talk about your secrets later, but you have to answer one of my questions. If you answer, I'll leave. How about it?" Linge nodded. "Sister Shuang, just say it. I promise I'll tell you everything I know. Ask whatever you want to know. I'm listening." "I just want to know if you were there yesterday," Ruan Qingshuang said. "I hope you can go. If you go, you won't regret your decision." Linge nodded. "I went." He really didn't regret his decision to see Lin Yonghe. If he didn't go, wouldn't he not know about Lin Yonghe's conspiracy? Wouldn't Su-yin continue to hide the fact that he planned to go to the Martifran Island serious crime prison from him? "I really don't regret it," Linge said again. "If I didn't go yesterday, I would really regret it." What did this mean? I'm afraid only Linge himself knew. What Linge didn't regret was that he could hear such amazing news after he went. It wasn't that he could forgive Lin Yonghe. "Not bad. This is the answer I want," Ruan Qingshuang said. "All right, then I'll leave the time to you two. I'll go out and inspect the work. I want to see how well you two have managed Sky Entertainment." Yes. Sister Shuang, take care." Linge chuckled. "If there's anything we don't do well, you must tell me." Ruan Qingshuang raised her eyebrows and then turned to leave. Su-yin looked at Linge with a puzzled expression. He didn't know what Linge was up to today. Why was he still as mysterious as yesterday? Was there something that he couldn't let Ruan Qingshuang know? What's the situation? What do you want to tell me? Su-yin. Is it about you and Lin Yonghe? What happened? Brother, I really don't regret meeting Lin Yonghe. If I didn't meet him, then I really wouldn't know that I was kept in the dark. Linge said angrily. He told me everything. Su-yin was stunned. What do you mean? What do you mean he told you everything? What did he tell you? Wait. What does what he told you have to do with me? Brother, you still don't want to tell me the truth. Lin Yonghe told me about your conversation in Yang District that day. Linge said. Why didn't you tell me? What were you thinking? Did you want to do something by yourself? Don't hide it from me. Su-yin was stunned. He really forgot about this. If he had known, he would have reminded Lin Yonghe. Why was this guy's mouth so loose? He asked Linge to meet him to give them a chance to reconcile. He didn't ask him to talk about this. Did he have water in his brain? I didn't hide anything from you. Su-yin. There are some things that I don't think matter, so I didn't say. There's nothing to hide. You still want to keep it from me? Brother, if you really don't care about Martifran's Island's serious criminal prison, then you wouldn't have kept it from me. Linge took a deep breath. You didn't tell me because you care. You think it matters. You think it shouldn't implicate others. That's why you didn't want to tell me, right? Brother, I know you. I know you too well. You said you don't care. You can fool others, but you can't fool me. Su-yin smiled bitterly. It's not as serious as you say. It's not. Come on, don't try to fool me. I asked Sister Shuang to go out just now because I was thinking about you. You don't want them to know about this, do you? Linge said. Why would you let them know? She doesn't know what Martifran's Island's serious criminal prison is. Su-yin said. I say, don't make a mountain out of a molehill. This matter is really not as serious as you think. I know some things that I want to know, but I know what kind of place Martifran's Island is. I didn't do anything out of line. Why are you so nervous? Linga shook his head. Brother, do you have to make me more clear before you give up? Just say it. I'm telling the truth. Just because I think it doesn't mean I'll do it. Suyin. I don't even know where Marty Franz Island is, and I don't have the time to look for it. Tell me, what else can I do? I'm already like this, and you're still worried. You didn't look for it, but that doesn't mean others didn't. Linga said. Phantom has been by your side for so many years. No one knows her identity, and you never reveal her identity. Phantom doesn't seem to be involved in anything, but everything has her shadow. Brother, you may think that you've hidden it from everyone, but you didn't hide it from me. I met Phantom once, so I can sense her aura. Suyin was stunned. He really didn't expect Linga to know so many things, and he didn't mention it all along. He thought that no one in the world knew that Phantom was by his side. Even Empress Suolingyue, who was so close to him, didn't realize it. Linga actually knew all this? I haven't seen her with my own eyes, but I can always feel her presence by your side. I also know that it's not easy for Phantom to show herself. You didn't let her interfere in many of your matters, no matter how difficult they were. Linga said. She's by your side mainly because you want to give the people around you an extra layer of protection. However, you don't want anyone to know about her existence. That day, she also didn't want to show herself. When did you find out? Suyin knew that there was no point in denying it now. Linga thought for a while and said, Not long after I came to Huaxia and found you, I felt Phantom's aura. Phew. You said that I hid it well, but you hid it better than me. Suyin smiled and said, I didn't say it because she didn't want anyone to know about her existence. No one knows her situation better than me. I don't want to hurt her, so I didn't tell anyone about her existence. Linga nodded and said, I know, I understand what you mean. Brother, you have your reasons for doing this. However, I can't sense Phantom's aura recently. I know that she must have left. Suyin nodded and didn't deny it. Why did Phantom leave at this juncture? Do I still need to say it? She must have gone to help you find Marty Franz Island. Linga said. After I heard the news from Lin Yonghe yesterday, I immediately understood why I couldn't sense Phantom's aura around you. Suyin rubbed his temples. This matter was really giving him a headache. He really couldn't explain it. Brother, you don't admit it, but you've already made plans in your heart. Linga said. I know that this is your choice. You have the right to make your choice. After all, this is your business. But Lin Yonghe is responsible for this matter, so I am also responsible. If one day Phantom finds the place and you make the decision, then I will definitely go with you to break into the Marty Franz Island felon prison. Suyin knew that this kid was also crazy. Don't think so much. This matter is not your responsibility. Since ancient times, Huaxia has a principle that the son pays for the father's debts, so I am responsible. Linga told Suyin firmly. Chapter 1587. Okay, if you are responsible, then wait until you are responsible. You don't need to be responsible now, so why are you adding to the mess? Suyin smiled bitterly. Do I have to promise you that you won't continue to pursue this matter with me? Linga nodded without even thinking about it. He had to get a personal promise from Suyin today, or else he would just stay there until he got a satisfactory answer. He did not want to be in this state of guilt forever. This state would make it impossible for him to face anything with a calm mind. Okay, then I promise you. I will never hide this matter from you in the future. If there is anything, I will discuss it with you immediately. Suyin, are you satisfied with this answer? This was acceptable. Linga was also very satisfied with this answer. Discuss it with me immediately. Brother, this is what you said. It's a discussion. When the time comes, don't give me orders and tell me what to do. If you want to discuss, see if I accept your orders. That's fine, I accept. I say, why are you so stubborn? When the time comes, you will do whatever I tell you to do. I must have thought it through and arranged it. Suyin. The meaning of the discussion is, if I have something to do, then? Brother, don't fool me. Discuss, that means there is a discussion. It is an exchange of opinions. When it comes to you, it becomes an order. Linga said. I won't. If this discussion is an order, I won't agree. What if you order me to stay at home? Then I will listen. No way. Soo-Yun nodded helplessly. Okay. Discuss. It's not an order. I will refer to your opinion on everything. But let's make it clear. When the time comes, don't be so stubborn. Give in when you should. Otherwise, there will be no discussion. I will give in when I should. You can say whatever you want, but I also have my own decision. Linga said. If this is the case, I will be satisfied with today's answer. Are you satisfied? If you're satisfied, then work hard for me. Don't put your mind on messy things, Soo-Yun said. Linga muttered. Who knows who's the one who's putting his mind on such messy things? Are you looking for a kick? Soo-Yun sighed. I have something to do. Linga got up and ran away. As long as Soo-Yun could accept his participation in this matter, then his heart would be at ease. This matter was related to him. Too much. He had to do what he should do. After Linga left, Soo-Yun felt a little melancholy. It had been a few days since she left, and there was no news at all. How was she going to find an isolated island that the world government was hiding? Phantom. In this world, Soo-Yun always thought that he was the only one who knew of Phantom's existence. Soo-Yun was very surprised that Linga could sense her existence. He remembered that it was a night 6 years ago. On the remote island of Dailange, a huge business deal was going on. On one side was Huaxia's infamous arms dealer, Tong Tiancheng, and on the other side was Western Europe's infamous mafia leader, Donatello. According to common sense, Huaxia wouldn't be able to interfere with a business deal on Dailange Island. After all, it wasn't within their borders. However, the business this time was too special. The firearms in Tong Tiancheng City were actually stolen from the country by the audacity of using someone from the weapons management department of a military region. Tong Tiancheng's method was very simple. He used alcohol, women, avarice, and anger to take down the person in charge of the arms. Then, he got the naked lady to secretly take a precious video with her phone. For this video, Tong Tiancheng paid a high price of 7 figures. When he threw the video in front of the person in charge of the weapons management department, it was as if the military's armory was fully open to him. At that time, the Middle East was in constant war. Various armed groups and mercenary groups needed an endless supply of weapons. Tong Tiancheng naturally took this opportunity to make a fortune. There were too many arms in the armory, and he felt that it was inexhaustible. However, there was no such thing as an impenetrable wall in this world. Even if the person in charge of the weapons management department tried to hide this matter, he still couldn't escape the watchful eyes of the supervisor. Of course, the armory was exposed. Tong Tiancheng's audacity completely angered the higher-ups. The Dragon Fury team received an order to kill Tong Tiancheng, and Tong Tiancheng's whereabouts were not so easily exposed. Soo-Yun and his men spent a lot of effort to find him. However, at the last moment, Soo-Yun realized that they had fallen into a trap and were lured to another island by Tong Tiancheng. Soo-Yun, who realized this problem, had no time to make overall adjustments. Time waited for no one. Once Tong Tiancheng's deal was successful, the lost arms could no longer be recovered. Therefore, Soo-Yun rushed to Dailange Island alone. This was the exact location of the deal that Soo-Yun determined. Soo-Yun's judgment was right. He did destroy the deal in the villa on Dailange Island. Soo-Yun could still clearly remember the pain of that night. He was severely injured, but he did not let Tong Tiancheng or any of his subordinates escape. Donatello, who also participated in this battle, also suffered heavy losses. Almost all of his men were wiped out by Soo-Yun's men. Soo-Yun also met Phantom at that time. She was like an invisible bodyguard by Donatello's side. However, she did not attack Soo-Yun that day, nor did she continue to protect Donatello. Instead, she took the opportunity to slash Donatello's neck with her dagger. At the same time, she was shot by Donatello's pistol because she hesitated. Phantom was injured and could only survive because of the medicine and special emergency treatment methods that Soo-Yun brought with him. Therefore, Phantom was grateful and stayed by Soo-Yun's side. Since she was called Phantom, it could be seen from her name that she was like a ghost, a shadow. If she didn't want others to notice her presence, no matter how powerful they were, they wouldn't be able to detect her presence. Even in the Dragon Brigade, where there were many powerful fighters, Phantom could still enter and leave freely. This was also the reason why Donatello valued Phantom. However, Phantom was forced to be his bodyguard. As for the reason, Phantom never mentioned it, and no one knew. The reason why Phantom attacked Donatello that day was probably because she saw an opportunity to be free. And that was why she did it. No one knew how she did it, not even Su Yun. That was why she was called Phantom. The reason why Su Yun could sense that she was near him was because he had touched her blood. This allowed Su Yun to sense whether she was near him based on her aura. Su Yun had tried many times to integrate Phantom into society. He wanted her to join the Dragon Brigade, but Phantom firmly rejected him every time. She didn't want to integrate into society. She was afraid of the hypocrisy between people. She just wanted to stay by Su Yun's side. Su Yun tried to persuade her, but he never succeeded. To protect Phantom's identity, Su Yun hid this secret in his heart for 6 years. He didn't mention it to anyone. However, he didn't expect Lin Ge to notice it. This was something that Su Yun was very surprised about, because Phantom had once told him that unless it was someone who had touched the blood in her body, no one would be able to sense her existence. Su Yun had already confirmed this. No one could sense Phantom's presence. But how did Lin Ge do it? Could it be that he had touched Phantom's blood like him? Otherwise, how could he sense Phantom's presence? Wait a minute. Su Yun was suddenly stunned. How did Lin Ge know about Phantom's existence? Did they know each other? After all, Su Yun had neglected a very serious problem. Phantom wasn't from the underground world, and her reputation had never appeared in Huaxia's underground world. If Phantom hadn't told Su Yun herself, Su Yun wouldn't have known about the existence of Phantom. Chapter 1588. Then, how did Lin Ge know about the existence of the Phantom? All of this made Su Yun feel like he was in a fog. In fact, 2 years before Su Yun met Phantom, Lin Ge had already seen her, and at that time, Phantom had not been used by Donatello yet. She sat on a lone boat, and floated to the island where Lu Xuanji was on in the vast ocean. It was Lin Ge who found her. Her injuries were very serious, and she had lost a lot of blood, as if she had been attacked by a ferocious beast in the sea. At that time, Lu Xuanji had gone far away to visit a friend. Xie Fei's, who everyone obeyed, had temporarily left because of a special situation. Everyone on the island had important things to deal with. Only Lin Ji's mission was to train himself to break through his limits. There was nothing else important. Saving a life was better than building a 7-story pagoda. Naturally, it was more meaningful than training on his own. Therefore, Lin Ge decided to save this life. It was also because of Lin Ji's timely intervention that Phantom's life was stabilized. It was also because of Lin Ge that Lin Ge managed to buy time for Lu Xuanji, who had returned to save Phantom. When Phantom had completely recovered, Lu Xuanji asked her what her name was. She said that her name was Phantom. At that time, Lu Xuanji seemed to have realized something. Lu Xuanji told her that he could not let her stay on this island because her lifestyle was different from theirs. Phantom immediately nodded and agreed to leave. However, Lin Ge felt that this girl was very pitiful. He asked his master why he could not let her stay. How was her lifestyle different from theirs? Lu Xuanji did not know how to explain, so he agreed to let her stay for 2 days. The weather at sea was not good these 2 days, and there were hurricanes. It was during these 2 days that Lin Ge understood why his master said that her lifestyle was different from theirs. It was because she was like a ghost that lived in the dark side. Unless she showed herself, it was impossible to find her. Otherwise, no one would be able to find her. This island was only about 10 square miles. Her disappearance was simply unbelievable. The only one who could sense that she was still on the island was Lin Ge. Even Lu Xuanji could not sense her presence. Lu Xuanji explained that this was because Lin Ge had come into contact with her blood. When he came into contact with her, the wounds on her body had already been treated by Lin Ge, so there was no blood flowing out. As a result, Lu Xuanji did not come into direct contact with her blood, so he could not sense if she was still there. Lin Ge was the only one who could sense all of this. As such, Lin Ge was quite curious as to why this was the case. Back then, he had asked Lu Xuanji, but Lu Xuanji had not given him a clear explanation. Lu Xuanji had only told him that Phantom was not someone from the same world as them. She was a very special existence, so she could not stay in their lives. Because of Phantom's situation, Lin Ge also realized that it was not suitable for Phantom to stay here. Phantom accepted everything calmly. Then, she was safely sent to the European continent. Not long after that, she was used by Donatello, a notorious mafia boss in Western Europe. 2 years passed in a flash. Phantom had been living in her own world, but she did not want to do what Donatello asked her to do. So on the night Su Yin appeared, Phantom, who had been suppressing her hatred for Donatello for a long time, exploded. She killed him and almost died under Donatello's gun. Su Yin saved her, and had always treated her like a normal person. As time passed, Su Yin knew that she was different from ordinary people. He knew that she was Phantom. A phantom that was only suitable to live in a place where others could not see her. Su Yin still treated her as a friend and an ordinary person. This was why Phantom had been by Su Yin's side for 6 years. In this world, Phantom only had one friend. No, it should be said that she was family, and that was Su Yin. Su Yin respected and understood her. He would not force her to do anything she did not want to do. He had never forced her to live like an ordinary person. Phantom was respected and understood by Su Yin, so she also respected Su Yin. If Su Yin did not want her to interfere, she would definitely not interfere. In fact, she did not know that Su Yin did not want her to interfere in those matters because Su Yin did not want his matters to affect Phantom's normal life. Phantom was different from ordinary people. Su Yin knew this, so he was more considerate of her. Just like that, Phantom was like a shadow that no one could see. She lived by Su Yin's side. Su Yin did not know where she usually lived. He only knew that if he needed her help, she would definitely appear in front of him. For so many years, Phantom had been waiting for Su Yin to need her help with something important. This was what she wanted to do the most in her life. This time she finally had the chance. How could she not give it her all? Su Yin could not remember how many days it had been since Phantom left. Whether she could find that place was still unknown. There was another thing that Su Yin was worried about. Su Yin had emphasized to Phantom many times that even if she found the place, she should not act rashly. However, the biggest difference between Phantom and ordinary people was her ghost-like stealth. She must be confident that she could enter and leave any place as she wished. However, Martifran's island was different. It was not anywhere else in the world. Therefore, Su Yin was worried that even Phantom would not be able to enter and leave without being discovered. Phantom had promised him that she would not act rashly. However, it had been a few days, and there was no news at all. How could Su Yin not be worried? Phew. Su Yin helplessly picked up the glass of water on the table. It turned out that he was not the only one who knew about Phantom. Lin Ge also knew about it. Then, could there be other people who had seen her before and knew about Phantom's identity? Also, who gave her the name Phantom? These were the things that Su Yin was confused about, and also the things that Su Yin was curious about. Of course, Su Yin would never know if there were any answers to his curiosity. Now that Lin Ge knew about Phantom, he would not be able to hide the fact that he was still trying to find Martifran's island. Su Yin did not even have to think about it. Lin Ge would definitely seek help from all the people he could find to persuade him, just like what Bai Xiaoya had done. Perhaps the two of them could even work together to find a way to persuade and dissuade him. Su Yin smiled bitterly. He really did not know if he was lucky or not. He was really lucky that someone would do this for him. It was just that he really didn't want to mess up other people's lives with these things. He just wanted to share the good things with everyone and not let them get involved in his troubles. Ruan Qingshuang returned to Su Yin's office again. What's wrong? Did Lin Ge tell you the secret? Yes. Su Yin nodded. It's nothing. This kid was just thinking about it himself. Is it still because of Lin Yonghe? Ruan Qingshuang asked. Su Yin hesitated for a moment and nodded. He did not know how to tell Ruan Qingshuang about it, so he just nodded along. I don't think so. Ruan Qingshuang shook her head. She could tell something from Su Yun's expression. I know you don't want to talk about it. It seems that Lin Gu was right to ask me to leave. I'm not a gossip, but when you want to talk about it, you can share it with me. Everyone has curiosity. Okay. Su Yun quickly changed the topic. How's the inspection going? If there's anything I need to pay attention to, you can tell me. I'll study hard. WanQingshuang also said seriously. I really do want to talk to you about a few things. Come follow me. Chapter 1589. In less than an hour, WanQingshuang gave Su Yun 4 suggestions. If these 4 suggestions could be implemented, they would greatly increase the efficiency of Qingdao. Su Yun was truly impressed. WanQingshuang was indeed more suitable than him to be in the management team. WanQingshuang knew what Su Yun wanted to say, so she spoke before he could. Let me tell you, there is nothing that is unsuitable for anyone. As long as you want to do it, as long as you are willing to learn, and as long as you are willing to do it, no matter how difficult it is nothing but a paper tiger. Think about it, you can even lead a special forces team, let alone a company. She was right. Su Yun nodded. He had the ability to lead. Indeed, Sky Entertainment Group's problems were on a completely different level from the problems he encountered at Dragon's Fury. He didn't have to risk his life to deal with Sky Entertainment Group's problems. Compared to leading the Dragon Fury team, it was hundreds of times easier. Hearing you say that, I really feel that your affirmation of my work makes me feel very comfortable in my heart. Su Yun. To be honest, I have never had much confidence in managing Sky Entertainment Group. I always felt that I wasn't suited to solve so many problems. Then remember today. What kind of problems have Su Yun not solved? Which one of the problems Su Yun solved wasn't more troublesome than the problems you encountered at Sky Entertainment Group? WanQingshuang smiled. I know that the transformation to a technology-based film industry is very troublesome. It requires a lot of time and energy to deal with the problems, but I believe that if you can't solve this problem, no one can. Whether Sky Entertainment's transformation succeeds or not depends on you. When Su Yun heard this, his blood boiled and his whole body was filled with energy. I'll give the notice today. We'll have a meeting tomorrow and urge this matter to be completed as soon as possible. No matter who it is, if they encounter any difficulties, immediately report to me. If they can't solve it, I'll solve it. Haha, you are wrong. Don't make the same mistake that I did, thinking that you should solve the problem that they can't solve. WanQingshuang smiled. I did the same at that time, but Zhuo Meiyan asked me why the company spent so much money on them if they couldn't solve the problem. Which of Sky Entertainment's middle-level managers and above didn't have bulging wallets every year? You have to worry about how much money you get. You mean? WanQingshuang changed her image of a nice old man and told Su Yun very bluntly. If you ask them to solve the problem, they must solve it. If they can't solve the problem, it's fine. The company can arrange for someone else to solve the problem. If they can't solve the problem, they can also recommend the right person to solve the problem. However, there was a prerequisite. Their positions had to be given to the person who could solve the problem. This was called the capable. Just throw the words to them, and they will naturally understand what to do. Su Yun smiled bitterly and shook his head. You have improved very quickly. In the beginning, you were also confused by the situation, and didn't know how to solve the problem. Now that I have fallen into this strange cycle of being confused by the situation, you really are a bystander. Of course. Otherwise, did you think that I was just here to rest? WanQingshuang smiled. I didn't just come here to represent myself. I also came here to represent Zhuo Meiyan. She called me and said that you will definitely be like when I first started managing these people. Although you are not as soft-hearted, it will be difficult for you to realize that you have unintentionally reduced their workload. This is unavoidable. In Zhuo Meiyan's words, this is called the pit that all managers must fall into. Then I really have to thank you for bringing me a ladder to climb out of this pit so early. Su Yun. If that's the case, then I won't wait until tomorrow. Today, I will ask them if they can do it well. If they can't, then tomorrow I will find someone else to do it. Not a single minute will be wasted. Ruan Qingshuang gave him a thumbs up in admiration. I told you that you are the most suitable person to be a leader. You understand immediately. As soon as Mr. Ruan arrived at Qingdao, although he didn't give any orders, the atmosphere of the entire Sky Entertainment immediately became tense. The pace of the meeting almost doubled. No one knew why, but Mr. Su suddenly called for an emergency meeting in the afternoon and demanded that all management must be present. Even the section chief of the security department and the head of the cleaning department couldn't be absent. Moreover, he also said that if anyone was unable to attend the meeting, he would recommend someone from his department who he felt was suitable to take his place in the meeting. At first, someone really did recommend someone, but soon, Su Yun told him that since he was the one who personally recommended the person, he would let the person who was recommended take his place as the leader tomorrow and directly adjust his position. This time, everyone was shocked. Every one of them was so shocked that they trembled as if they were covered in thin ice. They didn't know why there was suddenly such a big shuffle. Some people even started to spread rumors that Mr. Su and Mr. Zhu didn't get along, and that Mr. Su was going to get rid of all the people that Mr. Zhu had promoted. As soon as this rumor came out, some brainless people actually called Zhuo Meiyan. When Zhuo Meiyan heard this, she quickly understood the reason. Of course, she was happy that Su Yin had come to his senses so quickly. She simply told the people who called her, "If Mr. Su wants to fire you, then fire you. If he wants to fire you, then fire you. It has nothing to do with me. Whether you do well or not is up to him. The company is his. Don't try to get close to me." This sentence was almost a death sentence for these people. The atmosphere of the afternoon meeting was quite tense. Su Yun felt that he had gone too far. The atmosphere was quite oppressive. However, Ruan Qingshuang still secretly gave him a thumbs up. These people were so cautious and nervous in front of Zhuo Meiyan. During this time, Zhuo Meiyan had been busy with external relations and neglected to supervise them. This made them relax. They felt that Su Yun and Ruan Qingshuang were not as scary as Zhuo Meiyan. Even though Ruan Qingshuang had become stricter and stricter, she still couldn't achieve the effect that Su Yun was doing now. Because of this slight change, several people in the afternoon meeting made a military pledge to complete the task given to them by Su Yun within the time limit. If they couldn't complete it, they would resign and apologize. This atmosphere completely accelerated the pace of Sky Entertainment on Qingdao. The pace of a company's work and efficiency determine the speed of a company's development. Originally, there seemed to be no leader in the film industry, but soon Duanrui could be seen. In fact, these people were forced. When they had no choice but to do something, they could do anything. In an environment that was too relaxed and without pressure, it would only make people relax and lose their fighting spirit. Adversity produced talent, and chaos produced heroes. This had been the truth since ancient times. Pressure was the best raw material to turn into motivation. As long as this was clear, nothing else mattered. Su Yun also finally realized that this matter could actually be dealt with in a simple manner. The simplest way was to force the subordinates. This was a harsh way to put it. Normally, this was a kind of supervision. If you wanted to be a boss, you had to learn this. If you didn't even know how to force, you were only suitable to be a forced person. Successful bosses would also divide the world into two kinds of people: those who forced others and those who were forced. Those who forced others were usually successful, rich, powerful, and powerful. Those who were forced were always small staff, ordinary people, and those who had no money, no status, and no power. This society wasn't abnormal. It was just some individual things and relationships that were abnormal. It was just that the more such things and relationships there were, the more people would feel that this society was abnormal and unfair. However, the law of the jungle was suitable for any animal society. People were also animals. Chapter 1590. In Sky Entertainment, Su Yun was silently waiting for news of Phantom. Lin Ge was the same. Every day, he was silently waiting for Phantom to appear. More accurately, Lin Ge didn't want Phantom to appear. Once the Phantom appeared, it might mean disastrous good news. However, Phantom was like a stone sinking into the ocean, and there was no news. This made them worried. In the beginning, Su Yun was able to remain calm. However, half a month had passed. This made Su Yun unable to calm down. Many things could happen in half a month. He didn't dare think about what if. During this half a month, news of Lin Yongha's trial also came in. After combining all the factors, he was sentenced to 20 years in prison. This was because Wang Yi and the others had helped Lin Yongha out of respect for Lin Ge. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to escape a life sentence. However, for someone who was over 50 years old, 20 years in prison was no different than a life sentence. By the time Lin Yongha was released, he would be over 70 years old. Then, what was the point of being released? Moreover, life in prison was boring. Perhaps one day, Lin Yongha would be tired of the world. All of this was unknown. Fortunately, Lin Ge was already mentally prepared. He felt that compared to Lin Yongha's crime, 20 years in prison was already light enough. A lot of face was probably due to Lin Yongha turning himself in. A prison sentence was much better than a life sentence. If Lin Yongha performed well in prison, it wouldn't be too difficult to reduce his sentence by 3 or 5 years. As long as Lin Yongha realized his mistakes, as long as Lin Yongha started to perform well, everything could be changed. When Lin Ge heard the news, he wasn't too shocked, nor did he care too much. In his words, if Lin Yongha could accept these punishments, he would definitely fulfill his promise when he came out and forgive him for the mistakes he had made in the past. However, right now Lin Ge didn't want to think about these things. He didn't want these things to disturb him. Right now he only hoped that he could clean up the mess Lin Yongha left behind. If Su Yun was in danger because of the mess left behind by Lin Yongha, then even if Lin Yongha came out, he probably wouldn't have the chance to forgive him. Lin Ge had already mentally prepared himself. Regardless of whether Su Yun wanted to go to a dragon's lair or a tiger's den, he would not hesitate to go with him. Whether it was life or death, he did not care about his life at all. As long as Su Yun said the word, he would go through water and tread on fire without hesitation. Now Lin Ge only acknowledged one thing, and that was Su Yun. As long as Su Yun was fine, then nothing was a problem. If something happened to Su Yun, then it would be a big problem. From Lin Ji's point of view, it would be a big problem. In his heart, he still recognized the old principle that the son should pay his father's debts. If Lin Yongha wasn't clear about what he owed, then he would help him pay it back. Su Yun and Lin Ge were both busy waiting for the same news. No one mentioned this matter again. After more than 10 days, Lin Ge finally couldn't take it anymore. He took advantage of his free time to run to Su Yun's office. He didn't care whether Su Yun was busy or not, and directly said, "Brother, how many days has it been? There should be news about Phantom, right?" Su Yun put down the document in his hand and looked up at Lin Ge. How could he not be anxious about this matter? Now he felt that it didn't matter whether Phantom could find Marty Franz Island's serious crime prison or not. What was important was whether she could come back safely. Now that there was no news about Phantom at all, he was as anxious as Lin Ge. He answered Lin Ji's question with the simplest shake of his head. He was also anxious about Phantom's situation, and his mood was as irritable as Lin Ji's. "Then we can't keep waiting, right?" Lin Ge said. He was anxious, and Su Yun also knew that. But now, other than waiting, what else could Su Yun do? Looking for Phantom in the huge Pacific Ocean was simply a fantasy. And as far as he knew, other than him, the only person who could sense Phantom's existence was Lin Ge. How were they going to find her? How were they going to find her? Unless there was a place for them to stay in the Pacific Ocean, and there was someone who could help them. Otherwise, even if Lin Ge was far more familiar with the ocean than others, it was still impossible for him to handle the huge Pacific Ocean alone. The road ahead looked blank, and just as he was at a loss, Su Yun suddenly thought of someone. Yes, Bufifan. The ancient Magpie World's Hunter Academy was near Hawaii in the Pacific Ocean. If they could find a place to stay, why couldn't Su Yun go there himself? Su Yun made this decision not because he couldn't wait to know about Marty Franz Island's serious crime prison, but because he was really worried that Phantom would be in danger because of this matter. If that was the case, he would lose more than he gained. Indeed, we can't wait any longer. Su Yun took a deep breath. He had to put aside the matter of Marty Franz Island's serious crime prison. If he used the safety of his current people in exchange for information, Su Yin would definitely not do it. This kind of trade was not worth the cost. Then what should we do now? Lin Ge was startled. He thought that Su Yin would tell him to wait patiently for 2 more days, but Su Yin's answer surprised him. Too much time had passed, and Su Yin could not wait any longer. In the vast ocean, spending a year to find a place was not considered long, let alone 10 days. However, there was no news at all in these 10 days, and Su Yin was really worried. If they could contact her, he would be slightly relieved. But now they had completely lost contact with Phantom. I'll think of something. Su Yin reached out and massaged his temples. Less than 100 nautical miles southeast of Hawaii, there was an island called Hunting Island. This name was given by the owner of the island. That's right, the owner of the island was one of the 7 kings, the ancient Magpie world. This island was his personal property. Although the island was not a large island, it was definitely not a small island either. It could accommodate tens of thousands of people. However, there were all kinds of ferocious beasts on Hunting Island, and it was really not suitable for humans to live there. There were plains, forests, rivers, lakes, waterfalls, and spiraling mountains on Hunting Island. It would take at least a month to completely familiarize oneself with this place. However, it would only take half a year to familiarize oneself with every inch of the island. Bufifin had already adapted to life here. He was already familiar with every inch of Hunting Island, and he had never stopped hunting in the middle of the night ever since he came to the island. This was something that all newbies who had entered the Hunter Academy for less than N years had to do. The principal had said that if one could not even last 1,000 days hunting in the middle of the night, then there was no point in staying. Today, Bufifin was hunting a type of giant carnivorous lizard. It was a creature that could easily cause chaos in the food chain on the island. Its reproductive ability was extremely strong, and its reproduction period was extremely short. It was also very aggressive. Even ferocious beasts such as the black bear and leopard on the island dared not provoke it easily. This was because the giant lizard's armor was extremely hard, and it was difficult to injure it with claws and fangs. Of course, it was easy to turn it into a dice with a gun. However, there were rules on hunting on the island, and no lethal weapons were allowed. They had to solve the problem with their bare hands. According to Bufifin's mentor, Yuan, if one could not kill the creatures on the island with their bare hands, it meant that one could not even become the king of the food chain on the island. What was the point of going out there then? There was no way one could survive out there. Bufifin did not doubt this simple logic. He swore that he would become the king of the food chain on Hunting Island as soon as possible, so no creature on the island could hurt him. This was already the 3rd day that he had been here to capture the giant lizard that he had his eyes on. He absolutely couldn't miss this opportunity. Once he got rid of this giant lizard, he could challenge the group of crocodiles that were lurking in the shallow lake on the island. However, this kind of evolution was meaningless, because all the eggs they laid would be eaten by these lizards. Only a small number of them would fall back into the river, and still reproduce as fishes without limbs. The giant lizard especially liked to eat this kind of fish that sneaked ashore in the middle of the night. After smelling their fishy smell, it began to unscrupulously rush over. It knew very well that these fish could not escape at all. If they were not in the water, they were useless. However, at that moment, a dazzling light shot into the giant lizard's eyeball, causing its eye sockets to instantly turn blank. Bufifin had prepared a strong flashlight for this purpose. The moment the giant lizard hesitated, Bufifin leaped high and sat directly on its body. Faced with the sudden attack, the giant lizard rolled its body frantically. It seemed to know very well that the person who caused trouble for it 2 nights ago had appeared again. If Bufifin did not have to deal with this thing with his bare hands, he would only need to give him a dagger. A small dagger would be enough to kill it. But rules were rules. Fighting barehanded was barehanded, and no weapons were allowed. In Yuan's words, if these ferocious beasts wanted to kill you, they would not use any tools either. Therefore, it had to be a fair competition. It was because of this damn giant lizard that Bufifin realized that it was not fair at all. What kind of evolution had this thing become? How could he be compared to it with his bare hands? This thing had a hard outer skin and sharp claws and teeth. It had evolved to the point where it looked like it was wearing armor. There was no way they could be compared to each other. However, regardless of whether it was fair or not, Boufifin would not let go today. This beast seemed to have realized that Boufifin would not kill it but capture it alive. Therefore, once it was free, it would run back to its nest. It was safe there. If this person dared to chase it in, it would bite off his head. Boufifin held the giant lizard's mouth tightly. He had seen this thing's teeth before. They were very sharp. It would not be difficult for it to bite off a person's arm or leg. However, the tighter Boufifin held it, the more the giant lizard rolled. The hard stones on the ground bruised Bouffifin's entire back. Boufifin would not let this beast go just because of this. Seeing that it was about to roll into the river after a few rolls, Boufifin hooked the roots of a big tree beside the river. This prevented the lizard from rolling into the river. Boufifin could not let it roll into the river. Once it got in, it would be wet all over, and its breathing would be disrupted. Then he would not be far from his third failure. The giant lizard seemed to have seen through Bouffifin's thoughts. It desperately rolled into the river. Bouffifin's feet were about to cramp. The giant lizard's madness angered Boufifin. He suddenly let go of the lizard's mouth and punched the lizard's chin. The sudden punches made the giant lizard dizzy. It took a while for it to come back to its senses. It opened its bloody mouth and bit at Bouffifin's head. Fortunately, Boufifin reacted quickly. He held the lizard's lower jaw with his left hand, and its upper jaw with his right hand, forcibly opening its bloody mouth. His head was between those sharp teeth. Boufifin could already smell the disgusting stench coming from the lizard's mouth. How long did it take for it to smell like this? Boufifin shook his head. He had forgotten that this lizard was not a human. Soon, Boufifin was forced to his limits by the strength of the lizard's lower jaw. This lizard was really stubborn. No, this was not the way to go. When Boufifin realized the danger he was in, he knew that he had to take the initiative to solve the problem. However, when faced with that disgusting tongue, Boufifin could not bear to do it. Seeing that the lizard's teeth were about to crush his skull, Boufifin could not care less about how disgusting it was. He grabbed the lizard's tongue. It turned out that the lizard also knew how disgusting it was when its tongue was pressed down. The lizard's throat vomited something that covered Bouffifin's face. It was so dangerous that Boufifin did not lose his temper. This disgusting feeling was too much for him to bear. He did not know where he got the strength from, but he suddenly grabbed the lizard's upper and lower jaw and tore it apart. The lizard's mouth, which was already big enough, was torn apart by Boufifin. With its mouth torn apart, the lizard seemed to realize that its life as a lizard had come to an end. The strength in its body also suddenly stopped. It was using its body's reaction to tell Boufifin that it had completely given up. Boufifin finally let out a sigh of relief. He also felt that his entire body was about to collapse. He could not even lift his arms. The lizard's half-dead body was thrown to the side of the river. Boufifin could not stand the stench on his body and directly rolled into the river. If he did not wash off a layer of his skin, he would not be able to breathe. This smell was too horrible. You're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.